Baturdays. Baturdays. Omnidog is the minister of comics. Talk forever, get right your ergonomics. Taking questions from the chat. With a name like that, you think they talk more about the bat. Baturdays. 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 In the BatCave.
Heyo! Welcome to Omnidog's Vault on a Baturdays, Baturdays with Taylor Talks Comics. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. James Abel, the super producer, let me know that I was the first guest on your show in 2024.
Oh, right
now,
on.
Now it's
that
a tradition.
comes with a monetary reward. James said he would give the first guest $100.
Oh,
thank you,
awesome.
James.
Thank you, James. You can give that to me in any sort of gift card of all of the, OPB. That's the sponsor, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Time to take notes and see who meets their goals before 2026. See, I told you. That's why you and I are going to keep tabs on each other because James is totally keeping track.
But now it's a tradition. So every first guest you have every year has to be me.
Right. And James has to give you $100. So that's
every
fair.
time.
Yeah, that is fair. Speaking of OPB, Organic Price Books, use my code Omnidog for $2 off. 5% option before more books together. Omnidog set. Right on. Okay. Let's go.
Actually, this was a coincidence, but
up. Your Penn State Tigers won.
Tigers? What
are they? The Wildcats?
The Nittany Lions.
Oh, yeah, that's what they are.
Come on, man.
I got a funny feeling that we could see a rematch.
I know.
It's weird.
Great, though. I'm glad. I was upset that Oregon won the Big Ten championship the first year they're in the Big Ten. That was stupid. So I'm glad that Ohio State redeemed the Big Ten by taking them out. And they took them out handedly. That was not even close.
Whew. I don't know that I've seen a game like that in recent memory. I haven't seen Ohio State, and I've been watching Ohio State since 1968. I haven't seen them play like that in a crazy long time.
The same thing with Penn State, though. Their best 2 games of the year have been the last 2 games they played. So
yeah,
it's looking good. They got Notre Dame on Thursday. We'll see how they do against the Fighting Irish. But
yeah, Alex was at the Fiesta Bowl, and he is a Penn State rooter.
Yes,
Alex
we
is, Mr. Tex, don't push your luck, son of a bitch! Don't you dare! How dare you? Don't you say anything? Sasmer, shots fired. We shouldn't have started.
Hold on a second. I'm from Indiana though, so it's a little.
Oh, that's right.
There's some Indiana Penn State things going on there, but so I would not be upset if Notre Dame made it to the championship, but obviously Penn State.
Let's see. I did see something early that I wanted to address. Oh, here's Max. What up, Max? Maybe I should play a little Kim Cattrall scatting while you're still awake. Here's Doug. Amy people, did I hear Dom correctly talking about that DC Finest that Aquaman isn't Arthur? No, the DC Finest, he is Arthur, but the period before that DC Finest, he is not Arthur. So the DC Finest, he's Arthur, and Aqualad is Garth Ennis or whatever his name is. I can't remember. Whatever it is. It's so. No, you weren't hallucinating. You just garbled up. You maybe slurred your hearing a little. Yeah, this is a book you can get safely and have be part of your Aquaman Arthur Curry collection. There's Matt. We hope we can provide a little relaxation for you.
Have you picked up any of the DC Finest yet?
I haven't. The first one I bought was Catwoman, and it hasn't come in yet.
Okay, that's like have you read that period? Did you read the Jim Ballant Catwoman?
I did back in the day.
In the 90s? because there's a second volume of that coming out next year, and then so the DC Finest, when they first announced it, I was like, I'm on board. I want to get every single one. Blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But now they came out so fast. I have zero right now. That now I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to pick and choose. It's probably better for my wallet and shelf space and everything. I am excited about the Aquaman one. I'll probably pick that up eventually.
Yeah,
I'm excited about Legion of Superheroes. I said that pick in the chat. That Legion of Superheroes volume actually it overlaps a little bit, I think, with the volume 3 Omnibus Silver Age, but then most of it is after that.
Oh, good. That's what I want because that's like the early 70s stuff.
Yeah, it's
right?
like because you remember the old DC archives?
I do. Yeah.
Yeah. They went up to volume 13, I think, of Legion of Superheroes, and volumes 10, 11, 12, 13 are after the third volume of Silver Age Omnibus.
Okay.
I've been hoping that they'd put that into like a Bronze Age Omnibus, perhaps.
Yeah.
Because that material all takes place before the first of these standard size hardcovers, which is Superboy and the Legion of Superheroes. So it'd line up perfectly with that. There's just like 4 archives volumes, but they're all like $100 each on eBay. I think for crazy money. So I almost bought the showcase ones, the black and white volumes, until the DC Finest was announced.
Oh, good.
Well, so I got that one, but that DC I think they'd still need 1 or 2 more DC Finest volumes to lead up to this.
Okay. Yeah, it was a nice collection that you displayed in the OPB chat. BatCato's here. Welcome. Rami, welcome from New Zealand, Beyond Comics. Who's a guest in February. Here's Chris Brogan. Hello. Good enough to you, Axel. Here's Kane. What up, Kane? Jewish Dragons here. There is a snowstorm. Actually, it's a big snowstorm for us. Have you already gotten snow where you are?
Not yet. We're supposed to get it tomorrow. It's supposed to be a lot. They've already they haven't officially called it yet, but all but called a snow day for schools on Monday.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be like 2 or 3 days because it's going to be cold enough that whatever falls Monday here is going to stay the rest of the week. So
yeah, and I'm hoping that it holds off because tomorrow I coach 4th grade basketball, my son's team. It's like a travel basketball league, and tomorrow at 2:00 we have a big game, and I'm hoping it doesn't get snowed out. Because I would say our team right now is 0-5. But we're playing another team that's 0-5.
Oh, so somebody's going to win.
Yeah, so it's our chance to get our first W. It's our first. It's the league that the team that I'm coaching. It's the first time ever being in this travel league, and all the teams that we've played have been in the travel league for like 10 years.
Oh,
the level of basketball is insane with these 4th graders that we're playing against.
4th graders.
Yeah,
wow.
The health of Indiana basketball is going to be really good in the next 10 years because these kids are insane. Like the way they're playing, but because I've only ever coached Parks and Rec before this, and that was a whole nother level of those games were way different. So anyway, we got a big game tomorrow. Hopefully we can pick up our first W, and I hope it doesn't get snowed out.
It'd be great if the score was tied and then the snow got so bad they had to call the game.
Oh, that would be awful.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yes.
No, that doesn't sound right, James.
Monopoly money.
Monopoly money. Isn't that? Well, here's Harvey with a good question. Are the New Mutants comics any good?
Yes.
I also agree. Yes, particularly the first volume. I really, really loved. You can tell I loved the first volume because this was a couple of years ago before Super Squad D Tyler Blunt had a second kid, and now he's dropped off the face of the earth, which is what happened to the Minister of Comics. He and I were going to read like an issue a day, and I was like, I just swallowed the whole thing up in a weekend, and it's pretty thick. But it's the first 2 volumes are really good. Volume 3, I saw what was in it, and I said, I think I'm going to pass. But I can vouch for the first 2, Harvey.
Yeah, the New Mutants run had 100 issues, and because that's when Rob Liefeld took it. Issue 100 was the last one, and then the next issue was X-Force 1. So I'd say the Bob McLeod era before the Sienkiewicz era, like that first. Sienkiewicz takes over like around issue 20, I think. And his era is amazing. I love Bill Sienkiewicz.
Wait, let me get the first book. So
Yeah.
we know what we're talking about. Because I love, more than anything, I love Young Mutants. And she's not in this book, but I love Young Mutants that Emma takes care of. Oh yeah, that's right. There's all this other stuff before Sienkiewicz takes over.
Which is good, because most people say like the Sienkiewicz era is like where it starts to get good, but that Bob McLeod stuff is fun.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I'm trying to find my
this book. This is the first book. It's got Demon Bear Saga in it, which is amazing. Which, of course, is where I first met and loved Ileana. Demon Bear. See, it's about halfway through the book before Sienkiewicz takes over, but the first stuff's really good. I mean, I'm sorry, Taylor's right. The Bob McLeod stuff is really good because Chris Claremont does all the writing, if I am not mistaken. Oh, there's Spider-Man. I forgot about that. Spider-Man. Okay, wait a sec. Where? Come on. Cloak and Dagger. Oh, Bill Mantlo. Oh, that's because it's the Spider-Man Cloak and Dagger New Mutants. There's Cyclops, who I don't care about. Yeah, Chris Claremont wrote the majority of it. Hey, Kenny, what up? Good to have you here.
I can't find it. I have the Sienkiewicz like Artisan edition that has some of that stuff in there. But
oh yeah, I have that in the next room.
Do you have the Artist edition or the Artisan edition? Like the full big one?
I got the full one with the
Elektra on the cover.
It's got Elektra. No, what I have is the New Mutants one that has the okay, I'll go get that too. Let me catch up with some people. Kenny upgraded his phone. Nice. Ohio State does have an amazing marching band. Spooey's here. Paperback Dan. Good evening, gentlemen.
Hey. What's up, Dan?
I have to watch the Lions game tomorrow. Nothing like the late season game with high stakes. Here's Lars. My goal for 2025 is reading more comics and watching less YouTube channels talking about them, not including this channel. Okay.
Or Taylor Talks Comics, right?
And Taylor Talks Comics, which is in the description box. One of those links that you just click on and you're taken right to his channel.
Oh, but what I was going to say, so all the way through this is Kevin Chair is great. And then I think the Rob Liefeld stuff's good. I'm a huge Liefeld fan, and I think it's so fun. So that's like around, I think issue 85-ish is when he comes in. So like 85 to 100. So it's like the beginning of New Mutants and the end of New Mutants is really fun, I think.
One of my favorite moments in New Mutants, it was just so crazy, and I don't know if it's ever been revisited, but I think Sam decides to leave the New Mutants somewhere during the Liefeld run, and he visits Cable in Cable's library, and Cable's dressed up like in a white medieval reading costume or something.
Yeah.
It's like with like a quill pen and his hair tied back and everything, like he's a powdered wig gentleman from England. I was like, what's happening here? But they never revisited that. I want to know about that Cable.
Yeah, so Liefeld, he came up with a lot of ideas. If there's anything you could say about Liefeld is like, and I think it was because the program that Jim Shooter started where you get royalties for characters that you create or whatever, which has benefited Liefeld for the rest of his life because he's been getting anytime Deadpool or Cable are used, he gets money for it. So I think he grabbed a hold of that idea and he was just coming up with new characters and new ideas like every other page. It was like he was exploding with characters, like, oh, just throwing them all out there. And obviously a couple of them have lasted on. But it kind of tapping into that as well is like he'd have all these ideas where he'd like start and stop things. So like that Cable scene, it was like he's trying to add this new element to Cable where he's like this very like professorial type of character. It never came up again. But so yeah, there's a little bit of that where he's trying to work out ideas. But I mean, early Silver Age Marvel and DC has that a little bit too, where the characters might have like a little bit of differences while they're trying to work out the kinks and stuff. But I do agree, it was an interesting little
I
element.
want to see more of that Cable.
Yeah. Maybe someone should tap into that for a new Cable run.
I would totally read that. Because Cable couldn't get any more confusing than it already is.
Mm-hmm.
Young Cable killed old Cable, then old Cable came back to young Cable, took him away to fight Cable Prime or whatever his name is, Scourge something in the future. This is in this is in the current. Well, no, it's not current anymore. I just haven't finished it. It's in the Krakoa era. Like old future Cable comes back, young Cable's making out with one of the Stepford Cuckoos, and I forget who clone evil Cable's name is. I'm sure the chat knows. And then I'm like, wait, didn't young Cable kill old Cable? What? How is any of this happening? And I guess it's time travel stuff. I don't know. Well, Max is still awake. We need a toy show with you and Max. Yeah, we do need a toy show.
I got a toy for Christmas. It's sitting here right here on my desk.
Oh, good. I'll highlight you while I go get, and you can talk about it. I'll go get that New Mutants book.
This is the DeLorean for any Back to the Future fans, which is the greatest trilogy of movies of all time. And I'm building this from Lego, and I made it through like 6 bags. And then I found out they didn't give me any stickers. You're in the shot. So that's my son, by the way. So I had to I had to email Lego for them to send me my stickers so that I can continue my DeLorean. But this is what I have so far. The thing's a big honker. It's huge. And this is where I had to stop because I don't have any stickers.
Oh.
Yeah, so I'm waiting for Lego to send me my stickers that they didn't send me.
Speaking of stickers, thanks for the super sticker, Mr. Tax.
That timing was perfect.
Yeah. Waiting on that Legion book, hopefully next week. Okay, yeah, that's wait. Yeah, that's the one I asked for. That I bought, the Catwoman book.
I'm also stoked for like Metamorpho and the sci-fi stories, like all the weird stuff.
Yeah. Has Taylor convinced Jess to buy everything he didn't need? I still have notes here of everything from the Omnibros show. One Dirty Tree, Maple Terrace, Sunday, Unwholesome Love, and Comics, spelled Kommix. What I did read today. What's that?
That was a Charles Burns book, the last one.
Oh, Comics? Oh, that's right. I did read Peep Show today.
How was it?
It was good, and I can tell that it's a bunch of unfinished comics that he was working on, and it made me really sad. But I also I just put it in order for The Poor Bastard, which I didn't have, and I found it cheap on eBay. But he's really a reprehensible guy.
Yeah, but he's not afraid to talk about himself in the worst possible way.
He doesn't show any redeeming qualities of himself. And even
worse than that, he makes himself look like the worst human being. But it's so it's almost refreshing because it's who talks about themselves like this? Who's willing to let themselves out there like this to be a terrible human? But he did, and he's a great cartoonist. But did you just buy that recently, or did you have it already?
I had it. I think I got it last summer.
Oh, okay. When it came out.
A little bit after that. Yeah, I had to order it from. It was this Drawn and Quarterly? Oh, it's Fantagraphics. No, I think Fantagraphics was out of it. I had to order it from some. I had to search for it and.
I got this from a flea market for only $5.
Oh, I need to. I know I've read that story, so I must have it in some collection already.
It has a sticker on it saying it was signed by him. I got it for $5 at the flea market.
Whoa!
I do love the Hulk poster on his, because this is about when he was a kid. I love the back cover too.
This is about the Action Comics #1 that he's being friends with the kid because he thinks he has it. I know.
Yeah, because when he was a kid, he was a jerk.
Yeah.
But it was really good. This is one of the first Joe Matts I read.
Oh, that's a great one.
I am kind of hoping now that I mean, it's very tragic he passed away, but now that the run has been completed with 15 and we know there will be no more, I kind of hope that Fantagraphics puts out a big collection of 1 through 15.
That'd be good.
A peep show. It'd be really cool.
Did you meet your 2024 goals? No, because I don't even remember what they were. I did not. I did read. I mean, I did meet my Goodreads goal of 100 books, and that was easy to do because one time I set it for 300 and I crashed and burned and people made fun of me. So I don't want to do it too easy, like 20 books, because then your reading challenge ends, and that's how I keep track of what I've read. So for the end of the year stuff.
Yeah, the first year I did Goodreads, I put it 100. And then ever since I always just do one book more than I read the previous year. So like 1 year, I think the most I read was 115. And then the next year is 116, and I failed on that one. That's the only time I failed. But this year my goal was 102, and I beat it. I read exactly 102. So
nice.
2025, my goal is 103. Yeah.
Chris Brogan read like 900 books.
Oh, wow.
Which is amazing because, and I know he did because it's not, he didn't make it up because he showed like every 4 days, his library is so awesome. He'd bring in and bring into my Discord these pics of his library haul. And I haven't heard of any of these books. His library just must be like a museum of graphic novels. It's unbelievable the stuff he gets. Do either of you have read the Winsor McCay Complete Little Nemo? Oh, I see. Oh, wait, do I have that too?
I think you have the slightly taller one from Taschen.
That cover looks familiar to me.
Don't try to. I don't want you to have another accident with your laptop.
my laptop's elevated now. My drink can't hurt it.
But I think the Taschen one you're talking about is the same book, though. I think it might just be a reprint. Unless it's a smaller version, because Taschen they will print their books and then they'll print like smaller versions and smaller versions for cheaper.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, like they did with the Marvel comics.
Yeah. So I think the Little Nemo book you have, Jess, is the one that's slightly bigger than this one, which is way out of print. But this one is still pretty big, obviously, you could tell.
I don't feel like mine's that complete.
Oh, really?
I'd have to go back to the exact same section that I got this Bill Sienkiewicz New Mutants.
Are those original art pages or are they colored?
Let's see.
I didn't know that. I didn't know they came out with Sienkiewicz, one of those selects.
What's crazy about this is Bill Sienkiewicz New Mutants.
Oh, man,
wait, let me highlight myself because it's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the book, and it's badly out of print now, so don't get FOMO. But it comes with like a blowout card. But there's I feel like, okay, and it's signed and numbered. This is copy 10. It's limited to 999. This is copy 10, so it's signed and numbered. But it also came. This is New Mutants 18 through 31 and X-Men Unlimited 43. So it's big. Okay. Giant size pages, but I feel like, oh yeah, here they are. At the back, it came with, I don't know how you're probably better at describing these than I am, Taylor. There's a little pocket envelope, and it comes, don't fall over, dude. It comes with a color separation of a page. So there's like,
holy crap,
black, cyan, magenta, and yellow.
Yeah, that's how they did the color separations for the color plates back then.
Right. And now I'm getting my janky fingerprints all over it.
That's amazing.
But yeah. Here's the funny thing. I didn't even know about this to pre-order it. And this had to be like 2018 when this came out. I'll say 2018. Let's see here. 2016. Wow. Okay, 2016 just. Okay, you knew he was going for this. Because he was insane. Riley pre-ordered it, and I'm like, wait, what? What is this thing? And he told me about it. And I had a good friend at the time in the Bay Area. I couldn't find it to pre-order it. His name's Bon Idlehouse. He bought the thing for me because he found it and FedExed it to me. So this is one of my earliest gifts.
Dang, that is.
I know. Yeah, so that was a big deal. This book's, and then Riley said it was most anticipated book, and he ended up selling it. And I was like, dude, you what? Huh? And he's just like, yeah, I read it, and I don't know, I needed the money or something. I don't think he needed the money. He was married at the time, so whatever. He sold it, and I kept mine, and now I have it. Riley.
I didn't know they came. Those are like the slipcase ones. They don't make those anymore. IDW. No, the book I have that I was asking about it. I think it's. I've rearranged my books. I think it's back behind my Taschens here. But they came out with an artist edition for Sienkiewicz that it's called like Mutants, Marvels, and Moon Knights or something. I forget
Yeah.
And it has like the entire first issue of Elektra in it, and it has a bunch of different pages for different issues.
Okay, yeah, I almost got that.
I have the Artist Sin edition, which is like the smaller paperback, more affordable edition, because the artist edition is way out of print, unfortunately.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I almost got that, but then I decided I have this. That's probably enough.
No, that's awesome. I love Sienkiewicz's art.
I do too. And I love the writing in New Mutants, so it was an easy buy for 2016, Jess.
Have you read the Moon Knight, like the early Moon Knights?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so fun, that run, because you get to see the progression of his art where he's like, he starts off like a new Neil Adams kind of clone, and then he slowly progresses into like the Bill Sienkiewicz we know.
Yeah, creating Warlock.
Yeah.
Let's see. Min is Minnesota, where it was below zero. Yeah. Picked up New Mutants Volume 1 for the same reason. Magic. Good for you, Fifth of Jack. Yes, we're saying Omni volumes. Lohit, welcome. He has Frazetta too. Frazetta also? Frazetta,
the Taschen edition?
Taschen?
I don't have that book. They did come out with a smaller one of that. Like I know Josh Greathouse has the big Taschen book, like they're the same size as the Marvel ones back here. But it's like all Frazetta art. But they came out with a smaller one, which I might get because I love Frazetta, but I don't need the big giant. I can only have so much room for the big giant books.
The vault is a mighty river with boundless tributaries. Things constantly flow in and out by exquisite necessity. Man, nobody can craft a sentence like next to Maginot. Reber, are the resolutions buy less, read more? Great. Now time for tangents. Here's Hondo. What up, Hondo? My Bay Area bud. Can we get Taylor a better chair? Glad to know where my grandmother's old set went.
Josh, actually, you can't complain because my chair squeaks, as you can hear it. And on one of my live shows on my channel, Josh told me to keep it. He said it was an endearing sound or something. I was like, it sounds awful. I just need some WD-40.
Yeah,
this is my grandpa's old chair, so it has some sentimental value.
Okay. Yeah, my spinner rack squeaks badly, and upper management said, shouldn't you fix that squeak? And I'm like, no, that's part nostalgia. That's the spinner rack magic. Yeah, exactly.
I want a spinner rack so bad. That's one of my grails for my collection. I need a spinner rack back here somewhere.
Yeah. I enjoyed Volume 1 of New Mutants. One day I'm going to ask Claremont why they wrote Karma out of the book so early.
I think Claremont's idea was always to have kind of a revolving cast that, like, because if you have characters that can like die or go away permanently, it adds some like stakes to the stories. And Claremont's idea for New Mutants in general was to eventually have the New Mutants to become the X-Men, to replace the X-Men's cast, to like kind of have this like constantly revolving group, which I think is a great idea. But because Wolverine and stuff is sold on kites and underwear, you can't get rid of him. Like they can't get rid of certain characters for that reason. But I don't know. But have you read? Speaking of which, you said you like Young Mutant stories. Have you read the new Ultimate X-Men?
I haven't. I'm waiting until. Okay, wait. Strife. Okay, thank you. I'm waiting until all that's. I feel like all that stuff's gonna get collected in some kind of omnibus at some point.
Oh,
and I have too many Marvel trades that I know are gonna somehow get upgraded, and I just have to. I said I'd finish out. Okay, here's my first goal. Stick to what I said to myself last year, and that was finish out the runs you started in trades, like She-Hulk by Rainbow Rowell, Doctor Strange by Jed MacKay. Now I know they're doing Moon Knight by Jed MacKay, so I'm not going to collect that anymore. The Avengers, that kind of stuff. Just finish that out, and then don't buy any more. Just wait. I'm going to wait. That's one of my goals. I have to wait.
I'm reading Ultimate X-Men digitally for a similar reason. It was towards the end of the year, and like I said, I was trying to meet my goal of 102 books, and I was like 10 short with only a couple days left, so I was trying to power through a bunch of these short trades online digitally. And that was one of them. That was the only Ultimate series from Marvel that really blew me away that I wanted to like keep reading. But I loved it because it has those new Young Mutants that they introduced just for that run. And it's really cool to then imagine them interspersing them into the Marvel 616, because I know that's what's going to happen. Eventually, this new Ultimate universe is going to be folded into the 616, right? That's the inevitable conclusion to these things.
I hope not.
Well, what else? I mean, I don't know. Eventually, I think the same thing about the absolute DC stuff. Eventually, when sales start to dip down for these things, because they're really high for those Elseworlds, whatever universe runs, eventually they're going to get folded into the main continuity to kind of spike those sales back up. I don't know. You don't think so?
I don't know. I'm still not happy that they moved Miles and Spider-Gwen to this Earth. I thought Spider-Gwen was much more interesting in the other Earth. Now she comes to this Earth for college. Well, okay, can she go back to the other Earth when she graduates? I'd like that.
No, I would be fine with them keeping it a step. I don't know. The whole Ultimate, I don't mean to sound like a Debbie Downer, but like the whole Ultimate absolute stuff, it really just grinds my gears, because I'd rather them try to prop up the main continuity with things and try to boost those sales without, because it's Elseworld stuff, like it's boosting sales for those runs, and they're getting like creatives on those runs. Like Jonathan Hickman's, for instance, is writing Ultimate Spider-Man. They can't get anybody to want to write the main continuity Spider-Man because they know editorial interferes so much with that run, with that character. So you're telling me if Jonathan Hickman signed up and said he was going to do the new Amazing Spider-Man, that wouldn't have boosted sales? Now, Jonathan Hickman probably doesn't want to do the Amazing Spider-Man because, again, the editorial nonsense. That's the fix for me, is to fix the nonsense of the editorial and have someone do, some big name writer work on the main continuity.
Well, I get that. And I just, I don't know why I didn't think of that. I really should be reading for DC. I should be reading the Absolute line and on digitally, because I have that. And then I need to, I should be reading all that new Ultimate stuff on my app. And I don't do that. I forget about digital because I've got so many fakakta big Herkin books around here. I go, you're still not building that. No stickers, boo. Blaming the stickers is low, even for you, Taylor.
No, that's a good excuse, because like the flux capacitor sticker on the inside of the car, if I just skip that and just keep building the car, eventually when I get the sticker, I'm going to take apart the car to put the sticker on.
No, I get it.
So I'm pausing it until I get the stickers.
I did hear this as I left, that you said that it's the greatest trilogy. Taylor with the hot takes. Personally, I'm going with Lord of the Rings, but to each their own.
Oh, you don't want to hear my Lord of the Rings takes then?
I do not.
Not a big fan of Lord of the Rings.
Of course, we all know it's the first 3 Star Wars movies. Good evening to Lance. Good to have you here. Putting on Lego stickers is the worst.
I know, it's so weird too, because some of the pieces come with the printed image on them, and then you still have stickers. Why don't they just do the printed pieces only and get rid of stickers altogether?
I don't know. Yeah, I agree. My wife had to remind me you're on. Mrs. Sato, nice. Keep it up. No, you're not too late, buddy. Saz, uh-oh. Okay. Axel has a question for you, Saz. Oh. Oh, this is a Lego. Okay, Riley built that Rivendell. Riley's crazy. Not crazy. I mean, he has a crazy amount of big Kirkman Lego sets that he builds. And he's like, Jess, let's get I think it's the Batman 66 Batmobile that's out.
Oh, that's one I want real bad.
Yeah, and it's not outrageously expensive. And he's like, let's get it and let's build it together. And I go, that's not going to work. You build yours in a day. The Batmobile will take me 3 months because I like to work on it and then do something else. Work on it. Yeah. Riley's just like build. So he's got the whole thing done in a day. I'm like, that. I mean, I'll buy it, but I can't do it with you.
That's how my son is with his Lego. He likes to build them all like in one sitting.
Chester Brown with the Playboy. I have that somewhere. I never liked you. I have that somewhere. And paying for it, I have been thinking about buying that. They're best friends along with Seth. The Playboy and Seth to a lesser degree. I don't think Seth does more kind of stories, but Chester Brown does write about himself. I remember that Playboy ish. I
just heard that somewhere too.
I think that's somewhere with my older comics.
But I do love that trio, though. Seth, I think as I'm getting older too, Seth, it might be becoming my favorite of the 3. Have you? I just read Wimbledon Green was great.
I have that one, yeah. Clyde Fans.
Yeah, and I have the George Sprott book.
Oh yeah. I have that one. Part of my 22 goals to become more disciplined now that I've started collecting again. I want to keep myself to buying no more than 2 books a month. Just if you buy 2, save your 2 books from January, put them in February, and buy 4 books, you can save 5% off shipping 4 more books together. Okay, sorry, I had to do that.
That was great.
Let's see. I saw a question I did not want to answer. Have you started your Invincible readathon, Jess? Peace and love to White Wolf in Australia. I'm not setting that goal. That's 12 oversized hardcovers is just too much for me to commit to. I will. It could be this year, but I can't commit to that. That is, I can't. I haven't even caught up on Batman yet.
Haven't you started it though?
Twice. I've read books 1 through 3, and they're great. I love it.
Are they fast reads though?
Yeah, actually, it's really quite good. I really enjoy it a lot. I don't know why I keep hitting a wall with the 3rd volume. Something else takes over, but it's intimidating to try and just get 12 books and say, okay, I'm going to power through them.
Yeah, years ago I read the first trade of Invincible, and then I stopped because I only had the first trade at the time. I want to read it too, the whole series, because I've never read a Kirkman series that I enjoyed.
Fair.
I think that might be the one that I do enjoy, just from things that I've heard. So I do want to give it a shot before I write off Kirkman 100% as like I never will like anything he writes.
You didn't like Firepower, right?
I didn't like Firepower. I didn't like Void Rivals. Walking Dead was meh. Like I read the whole half of that series. And then I read Destroyer, the Marvel Max series he did.
I don't think I've read that.
Yeah, it was when he was like with Marvel for a little bit, doing like irredeemable Ant-Man, and he did a couple matches.
Oh God, that irredeemable Ant-Man was awful.
Yeah, and he did I think it might have been around Marvel Zombies time too. But he did this series called Destroyer, and it's just like it's ultra violent, like 6 issues, and it's a Marvel Max. And at first, I love ultra violent comics. Like I'm not
Sure.
that part wasn't a turn off for me, but like it just went nowhere, and it was just like, what am I even reading? Like this is like if you're gonna do like an ultra violent, like little substance to it, at least make it fun and like make it like funny and like entertaining in some fashion. But it really wasn't.
And there was Outcast that I punted on, and I punted on Oblivion Song.
Yeah,
And of course, Astounding Wolfman.
Right. And Outcast and Oblivion Song I've not read.
Don't bother.
Yeah, I'd be maybe willing to give him a shot if I end up liking Invincible, but I don't know. Kirkman is an incredible marketer. Like I said on Omni Bros last week, like of the great marketers in comic book history, I think it's like Stan Lee, Todd McFarlane, Robert Kirkman. And they're probably the 3 richest. They're probably the 3.
Oh, right. Yeah.
3 people in comics that made the most money that were in the creative part of comics. I think like publishers and stuff probably made more money than them, but of like the creative guys, they probably made the most money of everybody, especially compared to the peers. And I love what he does with Skybound. Besides the fact, actually, I kind of hate Skybound because I don't know if you knew this or not, but Skybound is with Image, right? It's like a imprint.
Yeah.
But Skybound comics are not creator owned, which I think
you
it's like
brought that up before, and I was surprised by that.
Yeah, it's so against the mythos.
It's Kirkman owned, right?
Yeah, it's like it's somewhat creator owned. So like Kirkman, for instance, came out with Walking Dead, and then when he went and got the show made, he benefited 100% off. Well, him and his artist benefited 100% off of the show being created. Image didn't make any money off that show, which is the way they wanted it to be. They benefited from selling more comics probably because the show, was popular. That's kind of the Image thing. Like you go make a show and we'll probably sell more comics because the show exists, but we don't want to make any money off of what you do over there. But Skybound is different. If you go and make a show of like Murder Falcon, or whatever, Skybound's gonna benefit from that financially, which I feel so wrong. The creator will still benefit, but Skybound still takes a piece of that pie, which is I think against the whole part of what Image Comics is supposed to be. So I don't understand why it's an imprint.
Is it possible that that they make it less expensive for the creator? Maybe they cover some of the costs of the
No, that's possible, and I don't know that far into it. Because the things that I've learned is from their website. Like they're literally, if you go on the website and see like the about stuff and like read into it, it'll say that stuff. I don't know about that. That could be possible because what you're saying is like if Rick Remender wants to make a hardcover of his book, he has to front the cost for it. Yeah. And then he benefits from the profits of it or whatever. But so I don't know if Skybound takes a part of that, which maybe they do. Maybe that's beneficial. But I just don't like them having any sort of the rights off of licensing deals. When you option deals when you option your properties. But regardless, Kirkman is a great marketer. I think he's done nothing but great things for comics. Walking Dead, even though I don't like that series, has been such a great gateway comic. There's been so many people that's like the first comic they ever read, and then they got into comics. So I always try to, be as complimentary of Walking Dead as I can for that reason, because I love any sort of gateway comics, obviously.
Yeah.
But I don't know. As a writer, though, I haven't enjoyed anything he's written.
That's fair.
Yeah, I hate the way he collects his comics. So infuriating, not having chapter breaks in between his issues.
Oh, yeah. He
is a writer that goes with cliffhangers at the ends of issues and whatnot more than anybody else. You'd think that he'd want those chapter breaks in there, but
yeah. That feeling when you build a new bookcase today, yay! Then that feeling when your floor books fill it up right away, boo. Yeah. I know that feeling. I got permit. Wait, come on. What are you doing? Let's go. Give me there it is. Boo.
I don't think
it's a rain thing. We moved in here. There was it's a homemade bookshelf, but it's as tall as the ceiling and way wide. I brought my friend in who is like a cabinet maker in his spare time, and he does beautiful work. And I said, dude, does the fact that my shelf leans this far over into the doorway worry you at all? And he said, that thing's going to collapse by midnight tonight. You need to get a new bookshelf. So I said, okay, tell my wife that. And so he went right upstairs and told Patty. I said, yay. So I got to get a new bookcase, but I really like the way that one's structured. It's like a giant, big, huge Billy.
Yeah, my wife came down here and helped me organize the other day, which is really nice. She's great at organizing things. But I have this great big table that I work on here, and it was just covered in books like to the ceiling. So that I finally got them onto the shelves and rearranged some things, and I decided I need to sell a bunch of stuff, but I understand that feeling. I'm one of my goals this year is to build my own bookshelves. So I want to build custom bookshelves that fit all my Taschens and artist editions on it because those are really tall.
Yeah, yeah.
So I want to have like custom bookshelves all the way here that have those shelves tall enough for those, and then upstairs we have a library area up there that I want to build customs for.
Nice.
So I decided that I don't like the Kallax area, like how it's like you can only fit cubes in them.
Yeah.
And then like you have that weird negative space where you're like, I can't fit a book into there. And then I just hate where it's like, I like the way that it looks when their books are like all spread out and like there's no breaks in between them.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Like reinforce, like Billy's. The Billy's look better, I think.
Yeah.
We have to reinforce them really good.
I have a Kallax for a 5x5 for my Marvel Omnis, and then a 1, 2. It's like I stacked them on top of each other for my albums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5x2 for albums. Those are my two Kallax.
These are like fake Kallaxes over here, because you know that the Kallax you can fit like an absolute edition to it. These actually only fit. These are like smaller ones. They only fit an omnibus into them. It's like the tallest that can go into it. But I want to eventually try to do away with these. I don't know. It's one of my goals, though. I'm not a woodworker, but I'm gonna try.
Wait. Kane had a comment. I didn't really set a reading goal this year, just like last year. I read 184 books this year. Last year was 129. Kenny's hyped on Superman, as he should be. I also bought a set of plenty of magnetic bookmarks so that I can start tackling all the unread books in my collection. It's working slowly but surely. Just show off your little Nemo. I want to see if history repeats itself. I'll go get it, and it won't because the computer is raised up now. I failed to read the books I said I would read, but read a good amount in 2024. That sounds like my 2024. My New Year's resolution is to be more like Omnidog. You don't want to be older, do you? What part of me do you want to be more like?
Well, your profile the profile picture is a cat, so you got to change that first of all. we need to get a dog in there.
Oh, I'm way behind. Have you seen the Amanda Connor Artist Edition Girl Power? I haven't seen it, but it sounds like something I'd like.
Oh, that's actually, Jess, if you're interested in that, I have a place you might be able to get one for those. It's a gallery edition because that's what DC calls their artist editions. And I think it's pretty cheap right now.
Oh, okay. Where?
Let me see if I can find it to see if it's still on sale before I tease you with it.
Color cells are awesome. Thank you. Omnidog, well, you do have the jumbo little Nemo box. It must be nestled in one of the less traveled wings of the vault. Okay. I love, and I'm not even being sarcastic, I love that people know my collection better than I do. I mean that sincerely.
Holy crap, Jess.
Wow, that New Mutants by Bill S. is awesome. Yep.
Jess, you might have to buy this on air.
Uh-oh.
It is $125 cover price.
Yeah.
It's a gallery edition sized Amanda Connor Girl Power. Sealed. Oh, sorry. It contains complete stories, Power Girl number 1, 6 through 8. And then the Wednesday Comics Supergirl episodes 1 through 12. It's 12 by 17, 248 pages. Sealed, $25.
Where's that?
I'm going to send you a link.
Okay.
It's on Torpedo's website.
Oh, okay.
Wow, because they have a bunch of gallery editions for cheap right now, but that one's the cheapest, and it's sealed, brand new.
Wow.
I don't know how long this sale's going on, but
Okay. Oh, we didn't answer Chris's question.
oh,
Well, I think if I were to own any, apparently I do own it. I'll go over into that part of the room again. It's remarkable. It's incredible. It's this. I mean, okay, I'm dating myself. Well, everybody knows back in the 60s, the color comics part of the Sunday newspaper, that's a thing you used to get that had the news in it. It was delivered to your house. And there used to be tons and tons. It was a whole separate section of the paper, but it was like 20 pages, 50 pages of all these great comics. You go back to the 20s or whenever, I think Little Nemo might have been even before the 20s, but Little Nemo was super groundbreaking and super surrealistic and really remarkable. And
the dates on it say 1905 to 1927.
Okay, good. I'm going to highlight you showing that and telling him how great it is while I go see what I actually own.
It's amazing. Like the fact that this was the beginning of comics. Like you think of the beginning of comics as like the early 1900s, and the things that Winsor McCay was doing with the comics format, like in its infancy, before people were really innovating comics, is incredible. And so these are all one-page strips, Sunday strips, and they all have a lot to do with like dreams and surrealist ideas, like Jess was saying. But the artwork is absolutely like breathtaking and amazing. Like the fact that, again, he was doing this as one of the first comics that ever existed is amazing. And this book here from Taschen includes every single one of the Sunday strips. It also includes like hundreds of pages of essays about his life and a biography of Winsor McCay. Like, let me see. So the Sunday strips start right here. Yeah. So this is all the strips right here, but this part of the book is all biography and essays and material about his life. So you get a lot of good historical context in there, but still a lot of comics. And it includes a lot of comics too that aren't just Little Nemo. But again, this artwork is just absolutely amazing. And the fact that they have these early 1900s comics in here that are this beautifully restored is really, really amazing. I will say though, with these Sunday strips, my recommendation would not be try to binge read like 100 of them at once. Like read like 4 or 5 of them a day and just kind of like soak them in and just kind of appreciate the artwork and things, and they'll read a lot better that way.
Well, no surprise, Next Imaginaut was right. I thought I recognized it because here it is. But this isn't the comic that knocked over the Coke onto my keyboard.
Oh,
that's an even bigger book.
Oh, that's the one where different artists do Nemo strips, right?
Yeah. Look how much bigger this thing is than that giant Little Nemo. That's why I had trouble. That's why I had trouble opening this thing, and it's hard to even show off. It's so huge. It's different artists with their interpretation on Little Nemo.
Yes, this book won an Eisner. Jim Rugg was the book designer for this. Jim Rugg of like, I'm drawing a blank on the name. Dang it, Street Angel, the Street Angel series that he did, and he did like Hulk Grand Design. He designed this book and won an Eisner for it.
Yeah, well, he owes me a new keyboard. This thing is so unwieldy. I mean, you obviously have to put this thing on the floor to read it. But yeah, this is what knocked over my Coke onto the keyboard of my computer. And that was...
Man, I want that book. That book's like way out of print. That's
it is?
One of my whales, I guess, but I don't really seek it out too much because I just know it's out of print. But if I ever find it, though, I want a copy.
There's Brewski. I was right about grandparent chair. Yes. No, since you have the Sienkiewicz Super Duper editions, either you get the Chris Claremont Paragon collection. I did not. I don't even know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. What I mean, is it just Claremont stories? I don't know. It's like writer centric, I guess, but that's confusing.
The only one of these that I'm going to promise I'm going to finish is Krakoan Age. I don't know that I can start Invincible. I would like to. I know right where I left off in Ultimate Spider-Man. It was volume 6. But I definitely, I'm very, I 100%, one of my goals, 100%, wait, I'll write these down and then I'll put them in my phone. Because I do have another goal. Wait, so what was the goal I said I was going to do?
Not read Invincible, I think was one of them.
I think I already said what one of my things was. I know one thing is I want to get more active on social media.
Oh,
I put the show, you on Blue Sky. I got your address and I put that up on tonight up on Blue Sky. I need to do more on Instagram and Blue Sky. That is a definite. I'll write that down. Social media. Okay, there's number 1. Unless James tells me what the first one was. Okay, wait. It's. I actually know that song you're singing there. I love how polarizing the current Ultimate X-Men is.
I know. I don't. Here's the thing. I feel like the Ultimate series should be, because I think the idea of these new series and why I like the X-Men version the best of all the new Ultimate series is that I don't want to see, like, the way I described it is like Ultimate Spider-Man and the Ultimate Invasion and Ultimate, what was the other one? Black Panther. They all feel like cover songs. So it's like your favorite band, which they're by good writers. Like I love Hickman. So it's like your favorite band now writing a cover song about your favorite 70s band. And it sounds like, oh, that's really cool. I like that song, but I'd really just rather my current favorite band make new music. So I'd rather just Jonathan Hickman write news. It's like the same story as Spider-Man, but just a little bit different. And it's like enough to make people like, oh, this is Spider-Man when he's older and he has kids. Like, that's interesting. When I'm thinking, why can't we just make Amazing Spider-Man where he's older with Mary Jane and has kids? Because that's where he naturally should be at this point in continuity and history, instead of keep reverting back to he's a single.
He should be a grandparent by now.
Down on his luck loser.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's where. So the fact that X-Men is a totally different take, like the fact that it's almost nothing to do with like what you currently think of X-Men, brand new characters. Like we're not seeing like an alternate version of Wolverine and an alternate version of Magneto, an alternate version of
Momoko one.
Yeah, we're seeing completely brand new characters, completely brand new environment. That is way more interesting to me. So and eventually, if you fold that back into the Marvel 616, you have all these brand new characters that are rich and have had their own continuities and histories to then flush into the, because that's the thing that I also have as a criticism of Marvel DC is that there haven't been a lot of new characters created in the last like 30 years. I think about like from like the 60s to like through the 90s, there's like brand new characters, like almost like every other year there's some like hot new character that came out.
And you're not talking about adding new lanterns like Jessica Cruz.
Yeah, and that's fine. Like that's fine. I don't have an issue with that necessarily.
But you want brand new, not something super family. You want some completely new creation.
Yeah, like Cable and Deadpool were. I know people that hate Liefeld are like, what the heck? But and I think the reason why largely people are going to say this too in the comments, I'm sure, but largely the reason why we don't get new characters is because of the royalty issue, where if you make a new character from Marvel or DC, you never make any money off of that. So if you have new ideas, new characters, you're going to take them to Image or someone else, which is financially smarter for a creator. So I don't understand. Yeah. Like, I don't blame them at all, which is why if I was the president of Marvel or DC, I would institute that royalty program. I'd want these guys to make new characters that we could benefit from.
Yeah.
Because even in the most cynical aspect of it, if you think of like the comics as like their way of making these new characters and stories for them to make them into movies, which is more profitable, more money, blah, 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 then I want the creatives to be giving us as many ideas as possible, right? That's the way I would. If I was like a cynical movie exec, I'd be like, yeah, do everything you can to get them to pour all their ideas into our characters and our properties, so we could benefit from it. But
yeah, wait. Some Backato said something that everybody. Oh, get ready for absolute DC versus Ultimate Marvel. I would buy that day one. Agreed, Backato. Hey, there's Javier. And I need to say hi to Safar. Hey, buddy. Let me see. Paddington might legitimately become my favorite trilogy of all time after Paddington in Peru.
I love those Paddington movies, and I'm excited about. When does that movie come out? It's like a couple months, right?
I think, yeah, early this year.
Yeah.
Josh with the Lego. I feel like Lego does stickers for IP since they can't keep them in production long.
Oh, that makes sense.
Big Papa Taylor and Uncle Jess, who would you pick for the main writer for Amazing Spider-Man for the next few years? I'd love Kelly Thompson or McKay, but obviously he's very busy right now. Or Ewing do an immortal Spider-Man, like a horror Spider-Man, like he did with Hulk.
That would be amazing, because if you go back to Ditko era and McFarlane era, those Spider-Man runs had like some horror vibes to them. So it's in there in the mythos. I think, and no one can convince me that Chip Zdarsky was not offered Amazing Spider-Man. I think he was offered it, and he knew the editorial nonsense that happens, and I think that's why he went the way of Batman. There's no way that Chip Zdarsky came off of Daredevil, and Marvel realized how hot of a writer he is right now, and didn't offer him Amazing Spider-Man.
Interesting.
I don't think there's someone, maybe Chip Zdarsky himself can tell me one day, like, no, you're wrong. They never offered it to me. But I just can't imagine Marvel not offering that to him because it was like that weird area before Zeb Wells. It's like it had like a time for him to slide in there. And they gave to Zeb Wells, which I've not read the Zeb Wells run, so I'm not here to say like Zeb Wells is a bad writer. It's not getting the best buzz, at least for his writing. But I just can't imagine them not giving it to Chip Zdarsky, and he probably was like, eh. So I think Zdarsky might be my pick. I think he hits the perfect notes of like comedy and emotions that you want in your Spider-Man run.
I agree with that. Just by Lego. I'll talk to Riley about it. Speaking of the BatCave, how excited are you for the new Hush 0.2? I personally, of course, I will wait until it's collected properly. I am one of the few people that actually loved the story and the art in Hush. I bought the Mafex figures for Hush, and I have a whole little diorama set up there. And it was my first absolute, so I actually love Hush. And if it's, I'm probably very excited for it. I mean, I am very excited about it. I'm probably one of the few that are excited about it. And I will just say, I don't know where the shush character showed up, but that is the dumbest idea of 2020, whenever it happened. Shush, a female Hush, shush. Whoever came up with that idea should be fired. That's crazy. Shush. Come on.
Here's my hot take. I would be more excited if I heard that Jim Lee and Frank Miller were going to finish their Batman run.
I'll start Batman and Robin. I had to read that for Jake's YouTube partner, Jordan, I think early last year, or maybe the end of 2022 or something. No, I was in this house, and I read it digitally, and so we did a show because he wants to collect. He collects all of Frank Miller. That's his thing, in absolute format or whatever. And
Jordan does,
yeah. And he hasn't even published the show. Like a year and a half later, I'm like, you made me read that Fakakta All-Star Batman and Robin where they paint themselves yellow and choke, karate poke Green Lantern dead, and then that's the cliffhanger. Like the room's yellow, they're yellow, Green Lantern's yellow, all covered with yellow paint. It's ridiculous. It is. And he hasn't published it yet. I'm like, get my thoughts out there. Come on.
I I think though that run I'll defend like Dark Knight Strikes Again, forever, but I don't love the All-Star Batman and Robin, so I don't want to paint that out there that I'm like a huge fan of that run. I do think it's slightly better than people say it is, but I think the thing that people miss is that if you read all of Frank Miller's Batman, every story that he wrote for Batman, which I think if they ever came out of Batman, Frank Miller, they've teased, I think this would be a great way to read that in that context. But starting with Batman Year One all the way through, it's the same character. So people that say like All-Star Batman sucks because that's not who Batman would act like, or Dark Knight Strikes Again sucks because that's not how Batman would act. If you read those Batman runs, you can see inklings in there that Frank Miller has always thought Batman is one thing, and you see like a through line all the way through his history. I want to write an essay or a book about this because
you should definitely do a video on it.
I think that people misinterpret Dark Knight Strikes Again and what Frank Miller was going for there, which that is a video that Jake has asked me to do on his channel.
Oh, you definitely should do it.
Which I want to create like a slideshow for to show examples of like, this is what you guys are missing from the story. But same thing, like Dark Knight Returns, people that love that story, which is a great story. I love it too. But there are some weird moments in that book or that story that people just like kind of like glaze over because they're like,
same with Batman Year One.
Yeah, people just glaze over it.
Selena in that is very problematic, I think.
Yeah, and there's the weird Carrie Kelly scene in Dark Knight Returns where she like embraces him and he's, people are just like, oh, this is a great story. And I'm not even gonna pay attention to that part. It's like, no, that part is important because that's why he's so weird in these other stories. So it's the same character.
I once built a Lego Avengers helicarrier in one sitting. I forget how many pieces it was, but it was in the thousands. Took nearly a whole day. Paying for it was adapted to a movie last year. Oh,
that's right. They came out the new edition of that book just for that.
Ed the Happy Clown. I built the Rivendell Lego set. Took me months because I didn't want the experience to end. Sasmurf agrees. Jess, if you enjoy Invincible from the start, it should be hard to put down. That's the problem I had. I read through too much of it too fast. Okay. I hit the wall with Invincible 3. I think a lot of things happen, and there is a low key, so easy to stop. You two should read Invincible together. Make it a monthly book club discussion. Oh no, I couldn't do one OHC a month because I would forget. I have to. There's only room in my brain for like one comic at a time. And then when a new one comes in, the other gets pushed out. I'm not like Dom of X, where Dom is like a prodigy with every comic book ever, panel by panel, stuck in his head. So I will consider it.
I have similar issues, but I will say that's one of the reasons why I embrace gold, silver, and bronze age comics, because they're easy to read like halfway through an omnibus, put down, and then a few months later pick it back up because they were written in a way that like would refresh your memory pretty easily with each issue.
You'll breeze through it. Okay, I will consider it. I'm not saying no. I will consider it. Just loved your Black Friday haul video. I have read the Scumbag book from your haul by Remender. Not too shabby. Yeah, I read the first trade paperback. I know that people are a little mixed on it. And when I say a little mixed, I feel like it's 80% didn't care for it. But I read the first trade and I thought, gee, I don't hate this. I kind of like it a lot. So I got the oversized hardcover. And thank you for watching so far. I appreciate it.
I read the first trade of that digitally, and I need to pick up the oversized hardcover. I liked it.
Can't believe I tuned back in for Robert Kirkman slander. Sorry, paperback day.
That's Dan's. I don't know if he calls him his favorite writer, but one of his favorite writers. He loves Invincible.
Oh,
I think Invincible is his favorite comic book series of all time.
Johnny from Finland will have to somehow get Aaron, his son, on a live show, and he and Riley could both build the Lego 66 Batmobile at the same time. I'm afraid Aaron may put the big art to shame, though. Ooh, shots fired, as they say. See, I don't want to rush through it, but also I don't think I don't have the attention span necessary to do something like that all at once. I think that might be what hurt me with Invincible. I don't know. Maybe if I started Invincible, I could do 1 through 12 like I did with Brubaker's Captain America. But I mean, I've had the Rusty Biscuit from Mandalorian since my birthday of 2022, which is almost 3 years ago, and I still haven't built it. I have space problems now, counter space. I have plenty of space for books, but I don't have display space. And once I build the thing, where am I going to put it? So,
yeah, I would love Lego to be my favorite hobby. Like people like make puzzles and stuff.
yeah.
Lego would definitely be the hobby for me if it wasn't so dang expensive. Like those sets get really pricey. Didn't you have the Daily Bugle?
I do have it, yeah.
Did you build that?
No.
Oh, okay.
The only thing I built was this tiny little Batmobile with the Minister of Comics 3 years ago. It was like our lowest rated show ever. We said, we'll build the Batmobile together. It was like 3 hours of just putting this tiny little Batmobile together. And it was like, but somebody said, and maybe it was Taylor, he said, there are channels of people just building Lego. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to have to take you at your word for that. I don't think we got any of those viewers, though. My viewers weren't interested in watching me build the Batmobile. AS, welcome. Oh, here's Domovex. Finally, an epic new angle for Taylor. Happy New Year, fellas. Have a good stream. Oh, sounds like you popped in and out. Good to see you, Dom.
I'm trying to try new things out here. I don't know how I like it. The lightings obviously need to be fixed, but I do like the way my guys look back here, though. You can see them really good.
Yeah, you can see them.
Although
creator owned, Kirkman is the only creator now.
You can see.
Not in that shot. Let's put him up here.
Yeah, where he belongs. I did not know Skybound Comics were not creator owned. That is wild considering how much Kirkman benefited from the image model. I don't know. Is that why we still don't have a Do a Powerbomb OHC? I don't know.
I don't think that's the reason. I think that's probably because we have Murder Falcon and he did Extremity, which is Skybound.
Extremity, yeah.
I think it's just I think it's just a matter of time. I think he will make it. I mean, there's a reason. Like Daniel Warren Johnson, if he's unhappy with the Skybound model after Murder Falcon, for instance, he wouldn't have gone and done Extremity and done Do a Powerbomb with Skybound. Like he's obviously happy with the situation.
Lars, peace and love, but 17 books of the Michael Moorcock library, 5 Elric novels. No, I God bless you as a viewer. I love you, but no, I can't. That's just, I'm still only at about 25% of what I've read.
It does sound amazing though, with all those artists on there.
I know.
I've not read any
I'm sure it's great. I know that I've talked to people who love the Moorcock library, but I just can't. I can't right now. Those are great artists, though. Smothery Lion. Oh, he's pulling a Next Imagine on us. One of two. I recently had a vehicle fire, and a book was in it. Superman Kurt Busiek book 1 hardcover. It was wrapped in a shirt. No smoke damage, but it got wet. I'm drying it under a fan, and so far the pages aren't sticking, but it's getting puffy. Any advice? Car fire? You had a car fire?
You had a car fire, and then your shirt the book got wet. I think you
I
have bigger things to worry about.
Yeah, my advice is to buy a new one.
Yeah, I would just buy a new one. I don't think there's any recovering those pages. But you know what? You can make a cool art project out of those pages. And buy a new copy.
Yeah, when the flood of 2017 happened, those books were not salvageable. And at any way, water is the worst thing that can happen to a book. And yours had smoke too. Oh, no smoke damage, you said. Yeah, I think you're just gonna have to knuckle under and get another one. Yeah. Sorry, dude.
I'm in a basement here, and I have concerns about when it rains, water will come in a little bit, and it really freaks me out. But so I don't have any books they're all at least like 5 or 6 inches off the ground, but. It's one of the things I'm going to do with when I build my shelves is make sure I build them off the ground enough. But
I had my after the 2017 fire, I had my cabinet maker friend who told me to get the new bookshelf. This was amazing. I just wanted him to do like wooden boxes, but he
Mhm.
came over and made sure the boxes fit into the molding, the floor molding. And so they were pieces of art practically. I hated leaving those behind at the old house. They wouldn't have fit here, but yeah, I put everything up, but we had all our water issues taken care of after that. We had the land graded and everything. So I left that with I left the house in better shape than I got it in. Best part about it not getting an omnibus is what? Oh, paperback Dan. Okay. Is that I don't have that issue with everything fitting into a cube. Negative space, skinny Billy over Kalax. I think that I agree with you that I'm going to probably get 3. I wait. No, I only have these are long Billies here. I feel like I might be able to almost fit 4 Billies in that space. And that's what I'd rather have. I don't think I want a Kalax in there. Actually, I should take you in there and show you this disaster that's waiting to happen.
With the shelf that's about to fall over?
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
That would make good social media content. Do like a before and after whenever you get your new shelves in.
Oh, that's good.
You said you wanted to do more social media.
I want to have your comic knowledge, hoping to read more books in 2025. Oh, okay. Thank you.
They said they want to be like you. Okay.
Yeah, that's I find it interesting. I've been using IKEA shelves for books over 25 years now, but have never used those mentioned by other collectors. I tend to stick with real wood adjustable IKEA shelves. Wait, I kind of wish collected editions had started back when I was younger. I wouldn't have gone box hopping as much as I did. Platinum Age of Comics. He's talking. Lowers is talking to Chris Brogan. The book is 25. Shipping is 22.
Oh, I didn't see that. But $47 though, still for a 250-page artist edition, still a good deal.
Yeah,
because I know you're a big fan of Amanda Connor.
Oh, I am. Yeah. That's what I. Thank you for being here, Alex. You probably left. This is half an hour ago. We appreciate your being here. I have that Taschen Little Nemo. It's beautiful. That Taschen edition of Near Zero. Welcome. Taschen edition of Little Nemo. I've been on my wish list for a long time. Might just need to finally purchase. That's the one that you and I both have, right? That's
yeah.
The Taschen one.
Yeah, that's a Taschen one.
Okay.
I don't know who the publisher of the other one was though. It might have been Taschen.
Locust Moon Press.
No idea who that is.
Laura Allred is the first one named here. Dream Another Dream, Locust Moon Press. This thing was in 2014. Little Nemo in Slumberland, May 2, 1909, courtesy of the Ohio State University Billy Ireland Cartoon Library and Museum. Holy guacamole. I haven't been to that cartoon library and museum.
Oh man, it's one of my I want to go there so bad. They have that's a huge museum, and they have you can like go look ahead of time. Josh Greyhouse has been there. You can look ahead of time into their catalog and have them pull out original art pieces for you to so when you get there, they'll pull out original art pieces of a bunch of different artists. But I don't live too far from Columbus, so I don't have an excuse. But if I can find it, there's a book that Caitlin McGurk put together from stuff from the Billy Ireland. And also they had the Nancy show there last year, like the Ernie Bushmiller Nancy comics. I have that book somewhere too.
Yeah, to read the whole thing, it takes this is my biggest reading challenge ever. Paragon Edition was basically a Kickstarter for Marvel. Claremont had an X-Men one that had a bunch of cool stuff. Including a new Days of Future Past story. Currently reading Ultimate Spider-Man Volume 4 Omnibus. X of Swords was drudgery. What? Thanks for the tip on Artist Edition. Ordered it. The Girl Power one? Good.
This is the book I was talking about. Caitlin McGurk, who works at the Billy Ireland, put this together. So this is called Tell Me a Story Where the Bad Girl Wins. And it's a collection of Barbara Sherman's art, who she was a New Yorker artist. And she was
Oh,
like kind of a forgotten New Yorker artist, but she worked with them for so long. And it's like a big book of like historical context and biography and stuff. But it has like all of her New Yorker pieces in it. And she's an incredible artist.
oh,
For the New
wow.
Yorker. And this is a review copy that actually got sent out to me from Fantagraphics.
Look at you flexing.
I know. But so this was like a kind of forgotten artist that doesn't get enough credit. So Caitlin McGurk put together this book for Fantagraphics and to kind of like preserve that comic book history, which is something I'm a huge fan of. So this is really cool to put this together. I got some other review copies for Fantagraphics for books coming out soon. Do you want to see them?
No.
Oh, okay.
Just a sec. Let me get caught up in the chat. Did I already say this? Thanks for tipping artists who ordered it.
Yeah.
Thank you for the super chat. I forgot to say thanks for the super chat. Hey, just Happy New Year. I'm back home and I got a Frazetta art book. Nice. Okay, I will not stand for this Krakoa slander. How dare you? Kevin loves the Ultimate X-Men. Peach Momoko's doing a great job. Agree, X of Swords. Oh, without bloods. How dare you all? Being not the oldest person in the chat, but the grumpiest. Why do you all have this need to talk about the X-Men franchise? Lars, you may be in the wrong live stream if you don't like. We definitely don't talk enough about Euro comics. I know that. Good night, Mr. Tex. Thank you for being here.
Oh, there you go.
Taylor vibed a lot with Ultimate X-Men. I dropped after 2 issues as it had nothing X-Men in it. It should be called X-Men Manga or X-Men Newer Mutants or something. Hickman did Gods and it didn't work, even though it was about new characters. Why would we get new characters? The other issue, they don't give you the tools to showcase these characters. At best, you got like 3 issues.
Well, that's the thing about the previous comment about Gods didn't work. Like, if we have all these creators start pushing out new characters, they're not all going to work. There's plenty of like Rob Liefeld, like I said earlier. He's put out like 20 new characters in his early run of New Mutants, and only a few of them have survived beyond that. But you know,
Absolute Universe is killing it. Ultimate Black Panther is my fave Ultimate title. Brian Hill and Stefano Caselli are doing a great job. Paddington and Peru came out in the UK and then in the US, I think. Okay. Well, Chip Z didn't do anything great on Batman either. I disagree on that. How dare you? The Batman, the Night book or whatever it was, when it looked back on his early training, I thought that was great. Actually, yes, we're going into the other room because I want to show you the Leaning Tower of books, and I want to get the name of that Batman book that I.
so how long ago did this cabinet maker tell you this bookshelf was going to break?
Christmas Eve.
Time's a ticking, Jess.
It's been like that actually since we moved in here. Alexa, turn on basement 1. Alexa, turn on basement 2.
Man, this really is like the BatCave.
Alexa, turn on basement 3. Alexa, turn on basement 3. Okay, don't give me any sass. Okay, so let me see if I can. This is the bookcase, as you can see.
Are those the Rebirth OHCs on top?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So this is. Okay, now can you see how much this thing's leaning? Okay, there you see it.
Oh, yeah.
It's. I want to make sure I do it justice.
Yeah, that the shot with the door, you can see the door straight.
The door. Yeah, see the door. The door is straight. The shelf is not.
That looks like just it's the fact that you had the action figures on it too. This is gonna be.
I know they'd all break.
It's gonna be quite a scene if this collapses.
Yeah,
it's gonna
look like a carnage.
It's gonna look like a big battle, like Infinite Crisis, is on your floor.
Now let me see what the Chip Zdarsky book was that I liked so much. Whoop, Batman the Night. Come on, man. Low hit. Batman the Night. This book rocked. Great art, great story. I dug the whole thing. Batman Failsafe, the Batman of Gotham. What? Low hit? Come on, man.
He's told me too. He's told me that he shares a lot of common likes that you have. Like he really likes Vampirella and Red Sonia, like you do. And
well, we can't all like everything, I guess.
Yeah. I have so this is the Nancy Show book.
Oh, that's cool.
The Billy Ireland showcase book that came out. So they had like the exhibit, but then they have like these museum showcase books. It's really cool. It has like original strips in there and some biographical stuff. It has like the evolution of the Nancy character. That's one of the books I got for Christmas.
Taylor, I see a site that has that little Nemo book for a good price.
Well, then there you go. Pick it up.
Oh, is that the Tashin one or the one that you want?
Oh, I don't know.
Giant Gigunda one.
James Abel sent me a link to the other one.
Editorial. I was so excited when Wells got announced for ASM because I love his Hellions run. Same. But I think a lot of it is editorial interference. But yeah.
I think a lot of it does too, like have to do with the fact that some of these runs read better collected. So I think a lot of the hate we've heard about Wells in most runs is like people that are reading it every month or whatever.
Yeah.
So maybe when it's collected, it reads better. Same thing. I mean, like we always talk about how Dan Slott's Spider-Man run was like lambasted when it first was coming out, right?
Right.
And now years later, people praise it. So
okay, now Rami and Lohit are talking to each other about how average Batman is. I should not have highlighted it. How dare you? Taylor, how many Holy Terror do you own? Why would he own that? I know what that is. You don't own that, do you? The Frank Miller Holy Terror?
No, I don't, but I do want to. I have like this affinity about myself that whenever someone like talks about how awful something is, I want to kind of examine it and figure out why people think it's so bad. Same thing. I mean, that's what happened with Dark Knight Strikes Again. Like I started examining it in a different, trying to find the good spots about it and see if people were misinterpreting it, which I found in my discovery. There's pieces where Frank Miller talks specifically about what he was going for that I think people missed.
I love hearing Jess rip my favorite part of all. That was your favorite part? Good heavens. Okay. Following Shush will be the new villain settle down, and capped off with the thrilling debut of Dastardly. I'm going to turn this car around. I remember hearing that back in the day.
That might be the best comment of the night.
I know. That's all. Shut up. Settle down. I agree with Taylor's hot take on Miller and Lee's All-Star Batman and Robin. I enjoyed the series. Peace and love. I'm glad you did. Honestly, no snark at all.
And we still need 3 more issues of it.
It needs to be finished. Hushtua. I get it. Paul, Omnidog, besides the O'Neill Adams run, what are your favorite Batman Bronze Age stories? To be honest, I don't know that I can pull any from memory because they aren't reprinted. So
Jim Aparo was around the Bronze Age, right?
No. Yeah, wait a sec. I have a bunch of okay, wait. When did Jim Aparo? Legend of the Dark Knight, Jim Aparo. Oh yeah, these were great. Thank you for saying that.
Oh, and the Marshall Rogers run, wasn't that Bronze Age also?
Let me see here. So okay, yeah, Legend of the Dark Knight. That's not what it was called. Oh, these are all Brave and Bold. Ugh, Bob Haney, but the Jim Aparo art is really great.
Do you have like the Marshall Rogers book too? I think there's like a Steve Englehart one.
I have this Marshall Rogers one.
Yeah, that one. That one has the yeah, that's Bronze Age, right?
Yeah, the one I don't have is the one that Cycle Cleveland's always yelling about, like Alan Grant and Norm Brayfogle. It's way out of print. I have a Norm Brayfogle one, but they're not all owned by. I'm sorry, they're not all written by Alan Grant.
Yeah.
Oh wait, wait a second. All of these are. but I know I'm missing something.
Well, I think there's an Alan Grant volume of those hardcovers also that might have stories not drawn by Breyfogle then.
I just realized that almost all of these are Bronze Age.
Yeah, and then the Michael Golden did some issues too that were really good.
And here's Tales of the Batman. Tim Sale, my new favorite artist. Three dudes around my age talking Lego. As long as they're not comic books in my age, I refuse to not be the oldest. I love Lego, but how to get out of the hobby? I don't have the space and it's absurdly expensive. Got a bunch of originals over there. Still have my Star Wars stuff for now. McFarlane and Silvestri could be accused of the same thing now since I'm thinking about it. Sorry, I don't remember what we were talking about. No, I don't. Stop, Josh. Get out of here. What are you talking about? Okay. Problem is what to do with them afterwards. Yeah.
You smash them on the ground.
Also, the sets get away from the original point of Lego, which is to use your own creativity to make things, not follow. Oh, yeah, that's right.
I will say my son has that issue. He doesn't like to play with Lego except for building sets.
And I remember when Lego was coming out when I was a kid, it was just blocks.
Yeah, my brother and I just had a big cardboard box full of random Lego pieces, and we just pull them out and make random.
Yeah,
stuff.
I get it though. Whoa, thank you, $5. Jess, would you recommend Gail Simone Red Sonja Omnibus to a new reader with no prior knowledge? It's not in print, but is on the secondary market. Okay, this leads into my big. Okay, at first, my first goal and resolution was to participate more in social media, Blue Sky and Instagram. I'm going. So this is a 2-part goal. Actually, it's a 3-part goal. I'm in the middle of that Red Sonja omnibus by Gail Simone, and I like it a lot. I won't be able to answer that question fully so far until I'm finished with it. And that leads, okay, this is a 3-part question because it attacks 3 goals at once. I have 5 books, and this has never happened to me before, that I'm in the middle of. 4 or 5. 5. Moon Knight by, okay, wait. Red Sonja by Gail Simone, Justice League International 1. I'm reading Superman Triangle Years for the Jessica show, but we're taking a break. But I'm still in the middle of that. That's 3. Moon Knight by Houston, and Justice League Dark Rebirth. 5 books that I'm in the middle of.
Did you say Justice League International?
I did.
Okay.
That's ridiculous. I always take a book, read it all the way through, do a review, whatever. And for some reason, I've never been stuck in the middle of 5 books. So the first goal of this 3-part goal, get all caught up on those 5 and don't ever do that again. Read half a book and then stick it somewhere else. I mean, that's ridiculous. So there's goal number 1, finish books.
Did you buy JLI 2 and 3?
Yes.
Okay.
I like 1 enough halfway through it. Finish books. Okay, the next one is Red Sonja. I need to do an introduction to Red Sonja. I have a ton of Red Sonja. Excuse me. That I can make. I can make a Red Sonja, a Vampirilla, and a Deja Thoris separate videos. How to get into type videos. Well, I can do that this year.
I mean, that title alone will probably get a lot of views. How to get into
separating into 3. Yeah, Deja Thoris especially. And the Red Sonja by Gail Simone might be a good one to start on, but I will. That's the one I want to. I mean, I'm going to finish all of those this month, so I'll be able to answer your question 100% this month. If it's reasonably priced on the secondary market, that's good. Okay, so finished books, Red Sonia overview or Red Sonia intro. Red Sonia intro.
I have a question.
And yes,
You that relates to this. You have all those Vampirella archives, right?
yeah.
Do those when those were like the Warren mags? Was she just like the host, or was she actually in those stories?
I feel like she was just the host.
Okay, that's what I thought too. I always understood that she was just like the cousin Eerie and
Yeah,
cousin Creepy kind of host, and the stories were just like your black and white kind of EC stories.
that's my recollection. And Dynamite took her to be a full
Right, and then she
character.
became her own character.
Yeah, that's my recollection of them. Okay, so I got 2 out of that. Then the third one is I have my favorite Gail Simone books. That's a video I need to make. I have those all on the floor. Speaking of floor books, Gail Simone video. I just saw another Gail Simone book that I loved and hadn't put in the stack. Good question, and I will get back to you before the end of the month, Safar. Thank you for the super chat.
I have one of my goals is similar, is that I actually have more books that I have like bookmarks in that I start and stop. Like I love bookmarks, and I have like, I don't know, probably in the double digits of books. Double digits of the books that have like bookmarks in them right now that I'm in the middle of reading. So what's one of my goals is similar to yours, is to finish books that I'm reading. I want to only have like 3 books going at once, because I have to have multiple books going at once, because I like to read based on my mood. So if I'm not in the mood for like a superhero comic, I need something to read, because I find if I just read to finish a book and I'm not in the mood for that, I end up hating it. And I like it to be enjoyable, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I 100% get that.
Yeah. So I need to have at least like 3 books going at once for that reason, but I don't want to have like 15 books going at once.
Yeah. I want to get back to just having 1 book going at once. That's how I've always done it. And Chris says, so far, that's the only Red Sonia I've read, and I enjoyed it. Okay, good. I'm halfway through it, and I've enjoyed it. I mean, Gail Simone writes her really, really well. I love it. So my answer is yes. Go ahead and get it with no prior knowledge, because Chris Brogan reads everything under the sun, and he understood it and had no problem with it. Same with me, except I've read Red Sonia before, so I don't know if I count. So yes, my answer is yes. I go back and I changed my answer.
And a little production piece between the two of us. I know we talked about doing like follow-ups every couple months on this goal.
Yeah, on our goals.
So I don't know, should we text them or should we post them on social media maybe?
Yeah, that'd be good. Do you want to post them on like Blue Sky or something?
Yeah, we'll post them, and then I'll have like your list so I can, we talk about being like reading accountability partners, if you will.
Yes.
And our goals can be altered too, we decided. So like in a couple months, if we decide like maybe Jess decides he hates Red Sonia, which I know he won't, but if he decides he hates it, then he's like, I don't want to keep reading it throughout the year just because I made it my goal. We can alter it a little bit.
And number 5, finish Krakoa. So there's 5, finish Krakoa. And I just thought of number 6. This is a little more, I know we were only going to come with 5, but I want to take advantage of this spinner rack and make reels on Instagram of all the different comics that I have that I can put on it. Like right now, it's all Harley Quinn. So I could make a reel out of that with like my wife recording it, and I'll highlight everything, spinning it around. Then I'll take everything out, show the Silver Age books, take everything out, put the David Nakayama books in, then the Adam Hughes books. I'm sure I have enough Jenny Frison books to put in there.
That's an amazing idea. I love that idea, Justin. You should do that. That's one of my goals too, because this isn't one of my official reading goals, but I do want to be more active on social media as well. So like that picture I sent you with all my Legion of Superheroes books. I want to kind of do content like that too, because I like the idea. I'm an obsessive collector to where like if I find one writer I like, I try to buy everything that writer wrote. Or if I like one character that I like, I try to buy every character of that, you know.
Yeah.
So I want to try to put like grab all those books out, put them together, and like take a picture and put them online. Like these are all my Jack Kirby books or whatever. Which that would be massive. But
where did you send that picture?
it's on Instagram right now. But hold on. The Legion of Superheroes.
Yeah,
it's on Instagram, but I sent it in the Jabronis chat.
The Jabronis chat. Okay. Taylor sent a photo. Taylor sent an attachment. Oh, I thought you sent. Oh, I see what you're saying. But then I got to scroll all the way back.
Well, just go to my Instagram then.
Wait. Oh, no. Wait. I'm sorry. I went to Taylor Mitchell. Okay. Jabronis. Blah, 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 blah. Gosh, there's so many people in there. They talk so much. It's all technical stuff.
They've been talking during our show. How rude. You should be watching our show.
Okay, here it is. This is a really, see, can I make this bigger? Yeah. This is a really good solid collection of Legion of Superheroes.
Yes, so that's on my Instagram. And this is one of my reading goals. Is I want to read all the way through the 5 years later era. So that's the last book there.
Right.
Because I love the Legion of Superheroes. I've talked about this on Justice Show before. So right now I'm rereading part of it and rereading. So I'm in volume 2 of the Silver Age omnibuses right now. So then I have all those afterwards. But I love the rich history of all these characters and how there's a huge cast of characters within this universe. It's really kind of similar to X-Men. If you're an X-Men fan and you like the fact that there's like a million different characters, maybe Legion's your thing. But so that's my goal, is to read all the way through, because I know there's like some like reboots and stuff that happen throughout. I want to kind of make sense of that. And then after 5 years later is when they get into like the Mark Waid era and stuff that hopefully they'll collect one day.
Yeah, that's what I don't have, is that Mark Waid era.
Which I don't think they have collected that. Someone correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe in trades back in the day or something, but
fortunately the Curse and the Great Darkness Saga are getting reprinted in oversized hardcover, because both of those are out of print.
Yeah, so I have those in OHCs. So those are straight reprints.
That's why I mentioned that.
Do you have the Before the Darkness hardcovers? The two that I had before the Great Darkness Saga?
Superboy ones?
No, the ones in between those.
Wait.
The two right before
Before the Darkness. I'd have to go in the other room. I think I do.
Yeah, those came out a few years ago, and I think they're wildly really out of print now. But
okay, wait, let me find it.
I can just show you the covers and see if you recognize.
No, that won't.
Okay.
Geo's live, so I'm leaving to catch the rest of this stream later. Take care, everyone. See you all next time. Geo, what?
Geo. Just for that, we're never getting an Inhumans omnibus.
Okay, wait. I'll just go to the other room really quick and look to see, because I know right where they are.
Are there any Legion of Superheroes fans in the chat? Let us know. Who's your favorite Legionnaire? And why is it Bouncing Boy?
Okay. I made a discovery.
Oh.
Because I haven't read them yet. I do have volume 1 of that Before the Darkness. I don't have volume 2. But I do have Mark Waid's volume 1 and 2.
What? Let me see those spines. Are those thick books?
Wait, let me highlight myself. Mark Waid and Barry Kitson.
Oh, those are the two that did that. What's that one independent series they did where it's like Doctor Doom? Like the premise is like, what if Doctor Doom won? Do you know what I'm talking about?
I don't.
You probably read it.
I probably own it, but I haven't read it.
Let me look it up.
Okay. Oh, wait.
It's called Empire.
Yeah, I have that. I haven't read it.
Oh, it's fun.
Oh, wait. Empire. I have read that. I really liked it. I have read that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's 2 books, I think.
Yeah, I only read the first book, but there's eventually a second one.
I didn't notice this, but the Comic Slayer has slipped in here. Hi, Comic Slayer. The Billy
Ooh.
Ireland Museum is awesome. Good
We went
to
to see
see
the-
you.
See the Raina Tagemeyer exhibit.
I was going to let somebody else pronounce it.
Oh, you don't know Raina Tagemeyer?
I know her, but I
okay.
don't have a reason to say her name. So
It's pronounced just like it looks. Tagemeyer.
okay.
My son's a big fan of her comics.
Just if you want one of the Amanda Conner Gallery editions, FYI, there's only 2 left, I think. At least that's what it says on Torpedo's eBay page. I might have just picked one up too. What? Did you go to eBay or Torpedo's website? You, Taylor. I'm talking to you.
I went to their website. That's where I found that link.
Okay.
I sent that link to you on Facebook.
Okay. Facebook. Now it's okay.
Maybe I should have sent it to you on text.
No, it's all right. Let's see. Taylor. Okay. This is on Torpedo Comics. Okay, I'm going to live action buy this.
Yes, I love it.
Okay, this is this book, and I better hurry up because it looks like Juice Dragons was trying to beat me to it. He may
Do you
have
have
already...
any of the gallery editions from DC?
No.
It's like the size of an artist edition. Like the other one's 12 by 17, I think. They just came out with the Killing Joke one by Boland.
Just a sec. Don't go ahead and talk to the chat because I'm ordering this.
No, you're fine. And then I got the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen one. I can show that off. One of my favorite.
Okay, I'm buying it right now. PayPal.
One of my favorite comic book series of all time. Here's the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen Gallery Edition. It includes every page from the first 6 issues.
Ooh, that's cool.
In the original art of Kevin O'Neill, who is one of my favorite artists of all time. So it has all the original art, like art pieces in it. The original art pages, like you get in all of your other artist editions. But I've shown off a lot of artist editions on my YouTube channel. I have a playlist of them because I love the artist edition format. We get to see all the little quirks and the nuances of like erased things or whited out, pasted up things where you can see where the pencil lines started and stopped, and then the ink lines covered them up and things. Just really cool to see that. I kind of describe it as if like the artist had all the original art pages and then they put them in a big stack and gave them to you to read these stories like that. So that's what Jess is ordering right now for the Amanda Conner one. And it's being processed.
Your order is confirmed.
But they're beautiful. This what the gallery edition spines look like. They're by Graffiti also.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't even know that existed.
I know it includes all the first 6 issues. I don't think sales were the greatest on this because I wish they would do the next 6 issues, but alas. Do you like League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
I do. Yeah.
It's a fun series.
I have Absolutes, and then I have the other stuff like the Tempest I have in hardcover.
Yeah, and do you have the Nemo trilogy?
I think I lost that in the flood, and I don't think I've been able to replace it.
Because there's like a box set that includes the whole Nemo trilogy.
Okay, send me a link. No.
I can show it to you.
Here's a question since Taylor mentioned the New Yorker. Has there ever been any huge books collecting the works of Gahan Wilson?
I'm not sure.
That is a great question, Derek.
I do love some New Yorker cartoonists, though. There's been some collections that are out of print of like Charles Adams stuff from the New Yorker. I wish there'd be a modern collection that's like bigger and nicer by like Fantagraphics or somebody. But there's some really good New Yorker cartoonists out there.
Just being my dad can totally scold me. Oh, here's about the bookcase. You are playing a very dangerous game with that shelf. I'm going to lose sleep about it for you. I don't feel Jess is safe standing there next to the Leaning Tower of Books. That bookcase is held together by the immense weight and careful placement of those omnibus and Omnidog's telekinetic embrace. Is that the Nancy book, 3 Rocks?
Yes.
Early Bushmiller.
So for Christmas, my wife got me that book I showed you, the Three Rocks book, which is Bill Griffith of like Zippy the Pinhead, right?
Bill Griffith. Oh yeah.
So he did a comic book graphic novel biography of Ernie Bushmiller.
I want to get that. That's on my want to get list.
It's really good. I read it in like one day.
I love Bill Griffith.
And then the third Nancy book I got was How to Read Nancy.
Oh,
so this takes one Nancy strip that's 3 panels and breaks it down into how it's like perfect storytelling. And it's like this thick. This whole thick book is about one strip. Obviously, it goes into other things about the elements that make Nancy so great and everything. But so I've not read this one yet, but I did read Three Rocks. It was a Nancy-filled Christmas.
That's nice. Batman and the Night did rock, but the rest of Chip's Run was just okay. Stop it. Stop. Batman and the Night came before the main Batline series. I love that book. That was why I was excited. Why am I doing this? I think I enjoyed Rom V's Tech over Chip's Batman. I am excited to read Rom V's Tech. Detective. The Englehart Rogers run in Detective was phenomenal. I think I just have some of it. I feel there's a book Cycle Cleveland has referred to, and it's way out of print. In the Englehart run, Walter Simonson drew the first Dr. Phosphorus story. Speaking of Dr. Phosphorus, I'm all caught up on Creature Commandos. It's awesome. I love that show.
I still need to watch that.
You will dig it.
I'm on board for anything James Gunn does, though.
Yeah.
I think he is the perfect spearhead for the DCU. I'm on board for any of his ideas. I think the Superman trailer was a perfect trailer. It was amazing. I'm not even a big fan of trailers because I think they're spoilery.
Too.
That gave you 2 solid minutes with no spoilers. Just gave you enough of a taste for that movie, and it's going to be brilliant. I think it's going to make $1 billion at the box office, and
I think it is too.
Kick off a great era. I think it's going to be like a phenomenon. That Superman movie is going to kick off so many new Superman fans. I'm excited for it.
I 100% agree with that. We need an Englehart Rogers Detective Comics Absolute or even Omni. Cool. Yeah.
I want omnibuses of that era, though.
Yeah, I do too.
We need a Silver Age Batman and Superman Volume 2, like tomorrow. I'm sad that they haven't been announced for the year so far.
Agreed. Comic Slayer.
What'd you say?
I'll show you in just a sec. You know who loves Deja and Sonia and Vampirilla? Your son, me, Jess. Also known as How to Get Into Titty Books by Omnidog. This is something that I have from when Omnicat was on the show. There it is. Boob time.
When is she gonna be back?
Yeah, that's a good question.
She had her and Reed had a child, right?
Yes, they did. A beautiful baby named Harley Quinn.
Reed's been showing off a little bit of his artwork lately on his social media, and he is. I dug his art from like what was the first series he did? It wasn't.
I think the Hardcore Anxiety.
Yes, I love that book and his art in it, but his art now he's really grown as an artist.
Yeah, I like seeing that.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things about comic book artists, seeing like the progression of art through the career.
Yeah,
and Reed has gone. He's in another level now, and I like.
Whoop! I almost brought my laptop down by the cords. There's a video idea I want to do this year, just like I did with Josh Greathouse. I want to highlight Reed's books in a video.
Oh yes,
Reed's books. And I've already run this idea past Kristen and Reed. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't have, I forget what the book was now. And Kristen said, Jess, you were in the Kickstarter for that book. And I'm like, I was? So, yeah, I have all his books. I was like, I have every book but this one. She's like, no, you Kickstarted that book. And I'm like, I don't think I did. And they showed me the Kickstarter with my name on it. I'm like, oh, I guess I did.
I'm missing a couple of his. I think I'm missing the G.G. Allen book and then the summer camp or summer
vacation.
So yeah, that's the other one I'm missing.
I read the G.G. Allen one digitally, and I was kind of afraid to have it in my house. I can show. I mean, he did a good job on it because he did a really good job on it. Okay, this is a serious question, and I think everybody probably is going to say Simon.
Silver Age Thor by Jack Kirby.
Don't you dare steer Oracle down that dangerous road.
Oracle. I'm making a joke because Jess constantly talks about how boring the Silver Age Thor is. I have a video on my channel, though, saying this run is better than people think it is, or something like that. It's about the Mighty Thor Omnibus Volume 1. Watch the video and see if I pitch it to you good enough. But Jess, you can go and give me your answer.
God bless you, Taylor. Oracle, I'm sure James has linked it by now. Go there and watch that on Taylor Talks Nonsense or Taylor Talks Comics. I personally read Simonson's Thor, and then I sold it because I didn't see myself going back to it. I've read half of Jason Aaron's Thor, and it's the only Thor that's I haven't read the JMS Kieran Gillen Thor, so I can't comment on that, but it's supposed to be really good that Gillen finished it out really well. I love the Jason Aaron Thor, but I'm only halfway through it.
I read the first 2 omnibus volumes of Silver Age, and I love it. The JMS run, I have a video on my channel for that one, too. I did the JMS Kieran Gillen omnibus. That one was really good. And then Simonson Thor is amazing too, but I'm waiting for the epic collections of that. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
I'm waiting for the epic collections of the Simonson one because it's in the original colors. Larry, no Stan. That run was not terrible. Oh, I think hold on, Josh. I think it's the first I've heard of that because I think I convinced him to buy that omnibus, but he never told me it was terrible. It's not all Larry Lieber though. Stan's in there somewhat. But the great piece, though, is the Jack Kirby artwork throughout that run.
True. Cue up action ordering movie music. Let's see. I jumped accidentally. Letterer extraordinaire Tyler Smith is here. Welcome. I think it may have been after Volume 2 that it was renamed Supergirl in the Legion of Superheroes. Now that I think I have, but it's in the Supergirl section. So I'd have to go back into that other room and check it out because all my DC trades and stuff are in there.
Is he referring to the Mark Waid stuff?
I think so, yeah.
Oh, okay.
After this, and I think Mark Waid writes that too, I think. Oh, Jess, Wade's Legion turned out to be the Earth Prime Legion.
See, this is what we need to make sense of.
Yeah, this is exactly what we need to make sense of. I like Brainiac 5 too.
Oh, Brainiac 5 is awesome.
My favorite Legionnaire is Ultra Boy and Karate Kid. Is it wrong to say my favorite Legion character is Lobo? No,
I love Lobo.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
That Lobo compendium last year was one of my most fun reads I read. That thing, did you get that? The Lobo compendium?
I will. I did enjoy those books.
So
those
much fun
series when they were out. Okay, good. I showed those, so I'm next trying to bait Jess into buy books. Yes, well, it worked.
Well, I think I have a book for it to bait him into.
Legion rocks. Read everything. I will be 60 this year, and Legion of JLA were my favorite growing up. Same here, comic pages. Wait, okay. Whoops, wait a sec. I think I went too far. But I don't see Jess, if you do read Red Sonia, do you also have the Frank Thorne books? I do. The original Marvel series. I have the one book. Are you saying there are more than one? You said books.
Did you get the Dynamite Omnibus that came out with last year?
Yeah.
The Marvel years?
Actually, I think it's in my cart at Hamilton Books for $11.
Oh, that I don't think that's the same book then. This is like a hardcover, standard size hardcover, but it was like I think it was $100 cover price. And it collected the original Red Sonia.
This isn't working. We're gonna have to just go in that other room because all we're talking about is books that are in that other room. Okay, I'm moving to the other room. All right, let's see. First, we start out with Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes. Do I have that? Supergirl and the Legion of Superheroes. Yes. Wade and Kitson. 1, 2, 3, 4 I have. And the last one is written by Tony Bedard. But
so there's 4 volumes of Supergirl and Legion?
It looks like it, yeah.
And then 2 volumes before that. So there's 6 total volumes of Wade's Legion. I didn't know those existed. Hopefully those aren't super out of print.
Frank Thorne books. Yes, I have. Okay, what did you ask me about?
Last year, Dynamite came out with the hardcover omnibus that was standard size, but it was like the original Red Sonia Marvel stuff.
Okay. I feel what do I have in my?
I don't own it, or else I'd show it to you. But
yeah, where is Hamilton Books? Let's see. Oh, this is the Queen Sonia omnibus, and it's paper bound. Okay. Let's see. Whoop! I lost the stream here. Red Sonia. I feel okay. There was the Gail Simone one. Because I got 3 Red Sonia books in almost at the same time. So,
all right, here's what I'm doing in the chat, in the private chat of the thing.
Yeah,
I sent you the OPB link of what the book is I'm talking about.
Okay. That one. Yeah, that's the Frank Thorne one.
Yeah, do you have that's like a hardcover though? You have that one?
Correct. Yes.
It's like standard size.
Yeah, exactly. Standard size. Yes. Okay, where am I here? Jess, do you also have the Frank Thorne? Yes. Okay, I do. Okay. Comic Slayer just popped in here to send me a zinger. Hey, Taylor. Could you do an overview of Disney comics around the world in 100 years by Fantagraphics?
I don't own that book, but yeah. if I get a hold of it, I will. That's the book that Target. It was a Target exclusive last year.
Oh,
it's really cool that Fantagraphics had a Target exclusive book, like it's on their shelves. But then they re-released it in a slipcase this year. I don't know if it has any more material in it or not, but it is a really cool book. I would like to own it. If I own it, I will do an overview of it. I have the 90 years of Donald Duck Fantagraphics book they came out with.
But to answer the question, you can read Gail Simone without prior knowledge. All right, I agree with that. Bookmarks over ribbons. Josh trying to be funny here. Okay, good. Safar got it. Nice. You will be happy with it. I really liked it. Have what I've read. Yes. Okay. Actually, I want to examine this comment because I never saw that John Carter movie, but I heard that it was really good. So Lance likes it.
Yeah, I've never seen it either, but I heard it like when it first came out, it was like did terrible at the box office, but people were praising how good it was.
And AS likes it.
It's a Disney movie. Is it on Disney Plus?
Okay, good. AS, glad someone agrees with me. I need to read multiple books at a time because there are some books I read that are long or have heavy themes. I get that.
So the John Carter movie is on Disney Plus.
Oh, okay, good. I really would like to see that. Trying to treat my collected editions buying and that Trying to treat my collected editions buying and digital comics reading like I'm a kid in a comic book shop, in that I'm pulling and reading several titles at once, ideally. And Lobo. Okay, let's see. I have multiple goals for this year. For YouTube, I have a number of subs I want to reach, and I want to post at least one monthly video. What are some? I don't know that I've heard some of any of your. Have I heard any of your? Actually, I'm just not going to plug that microphone back in so I can move back and forth.
I've slid them in a little bit throughout the show.
Have you kept track of them?
Yeah, I've got them written down. Read 103 books, so one more than I read last year.
Okay.
Read through the Legion of Superheroes all the way through 5 years later. Don't start more than 3 books at once. And then the two that I haven't mentioned yet, read 1 omnibus a month.
That's a good one. I like that one.
That's one obtainable goal that should be pretty easy. Like, I have so many omnibuses. If I just read 1 a month, I think that in the Legion, it's kind of a twofer, because the Legion there's 4 omnibuses in the Legion run that I'd still need to read at this point. There's 5 total, but 4. So that would be 4 months worth if I read through those.
Yeah.
And then my last one is to stay on track with my review copies, because I have review copies come in from Fantagraphics and also OPB at times that I stay on top of.
Flexing the Fantagraphics. Man.
I know. Do you want to see them though? I want to show them to you.
Okay, go ahead.
So these are a little sneak preview of books that are coming out for Fantagraphics in the future.
I'll highlight you.
Here's one that you might be familiar with. Tedward.
Oh yeah,
of Goiter fame.
Right. I actually want to get that.
This is it has like spot gloss on it. It's really beautiful. So this comes out, and these come out like in a few months. Like, these are pretty far out. Like, I think this one comes out in March. Yeah, March. And then Baby Blues. This is a cool book. It's about fascistic society and having to live amongst it. It's got really cool art. It's by Bim Erickson. It's all in blue and white color.
Oh, cool.
I'm saving the last one for the best for last. The last one I think is going to be a total Jess Bragg book. So here's a book that comes out in a couple weeks. It's called Daisy
I want to know about this book.
Goes to the Moon. It's adapted and illustrated by Rick Geary, if you're familiar with him. And it's all based on the novel by Matthew Klickstein, which I think was, I'll have this straight when I do my review of this book, but yeah, Daisy Ashford is the real life author, and she wrote the story based on her dreams when she was like, I think 9 years old or something crazy. So it's just all this wild, like, surreal dream, kind of the same stuff that we talked about with Little Nemo. Like, all these weird characters, but Rick Geary is the artist on it all, and he's amazing.
Does it have the narrative flow at all?
I haven't read it yet.
Oh, okay.
I will have it read and reviewed in a couple weeks when it comes out. But it looks like kind of Alice in Wonderland, like.
Yeah.
Here's a new Jaime Hernandez book coming out, Life Drawing. Okay. I know you're a huge Love and Rockets fan, Jess.
Yeah.
But you know what? Trying out Love and Rockets, maybe because they do these collections. Like, this collects one story narrative throughout all their through a bunch of their recent issues, but into like a graphic novel. So getting a collection like this might be good for you to kind of get your feet wet with some Love and Rockets.
I own, but I haven't read Marble Season. But I don't know.
That's a totally a great gateway for you. That's
okay.
That's an easy one. That's from Gilbert Hernandez. And then here's the book I want to sell you on, because I think this is a Jess Bragg book. Santos Sisters. Oh,
somebody were last night, Friday, we were going through the comic releases to see what books we were excited about, and somebody mentioned this book.
Well, perfect. This book comes out in March, and it's done as like a Archie Comics pastiche of these superheroes, these two girls that are superheroes, but it's done with like modern sensibilities, modern writing and stuff. And first of all, this book is beautiful. Look at this. If I could do this right. It's got like an acetate cover, I think they call it.
Ooh.
So you got the Santos Sisters character. Unmasked.
So sold. That's a buy.
Yeah. So it's really cool.
And they wear masks when they're superheroes.
Yeah.
Those
look at these in papers too.
creepy V for Vendetta type masks.
Yeah.
Or
so it's got like teenage melodrama / like silver AG kind of superhero hijinks and stuff. Here's the title page is a cool. Yeah, here's a cool spread of like all the characters you'll encounter.
Oh, that looks good. I wonder how it doesn't come out until March. I wonder how the person already knew about it.
Well, the single issues have been coming out for a few years now.
Okay.
And there's a great channel on YouTube called Taylor Talks Comics that goes over the catalog for Fantagraphics.
Oh, okay.
That talks about all the books coming out on Fantagraphics. That was a joke.
That's one I definitely want to get.
But this one I think is totally up your alley. I've read the single issues. I've been collecting this in single issues. And they're really cool and fun because they do like cheap newsprint for the interiors and stuff. But this is just matte paper on the inside of this one. But totally up your alley, and it's like Archie Comics pastiche, but done with like adult humor and stuff.
Cool.
Yeah, and superheroes, which is fun.
Near Zero says, for those of you on YouTube, I love seeing room tours. I need to do that, but it's not picked up enough yet for that. But I don't need a book by book review. No, I wouldn't do that to you. I love seeing room overviews and discussion of how you solve storage problems and how you solved the collapse of the shelf on top of you that's in your other room. Yeah. I should do a before and after.
I did a room tour once, which I like the style of room tour, which I think sounds like it's not his style, but I got the idea from the For the Love of Comics YouTube channel, which I like a lot. And he broke it down like a video based on a bookshelf. So like his room tour was like 7 or 8 videos long. And I like that because I do like pulling out the book and showing you like, I bought this book for this reason. I like this book or whatever. I don't really care for the room tours that are just like, someone's like, there's all my DC books.
Yeah.
There's all my Marvel books. Like I want like the intimacy of like why you bought that book, why it's organized this way, which ones do you recommend, kind of thing. So that's why I broke my room tour down into like 4 parts, I think.
Okay.
But maybe you could do that. You could do like this room for part 1, that room for part 2.
Well, that's a good idea. Yeah, that way I could spend time on all the art on the wall and the statues and action figures and stuff. Yeah, all right.
So I don't know. Have you ever done a room tour video?
Yeah, back in like 2017.
Yeah, so we need a new one.
Yeah.
Is that a goal? You don't have. You don't.
I know I need to get I have to get a new shelf because that one's apparently going to kill me. 9 room tour.
You have 9 goals, man. I need to add to mine then.
Well, 3 of them came from that one question about the Red Sonia.
Okay.
Book. Love Legion of Superhero. When I was a kid, my mother managed a half-price books in Houston. After school, every day I'd go there and read comics. Wow, what a good childhood you had. Legion of Superhero Adventure Comics was one of the ones I would read. Nice.
Sounds amazing.
Taylor Talks Comics. We're never getting an Inhumans Omni anyway. I've remote viewed the copies Marvel's been forced by Disney to suppress in their vault to keep driving up online outrage engagement.
Man, I'm not even asking for a lot of this, like that first Inhumans era where you have like the Jack Kirby stuff and then the Neil Adams stuff. Like that needs to be an omnibus.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah. Low Hit shouting out Wildfire. Torpedo has that League one too. Is it $25? No, I just ordered. No. Boland Gallery Edition Killing Joke has a few color pages too, unlike many artist editions. Rick Ray, it's been a while. Drawn and Quarterly collected a ton of Edward Steed New Yorker comics. It's a beautiful book. Henry Bliss illustrates 2 great books with Steve Martin comics and jokes.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
BatCave, you're with me on this, right? Good. Okay, we agree. Kevin O'Neill was a genius. Nemesis the Warlock, Metalzoic, the first Green Lantern story being banned by DC. Martial Law, I have that book, and the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. Gentlemen, what Do you know what he's talking about with the first Green Lantern story being banned by DC?
I don't know the story behind it being banned, but I do know that he did a lot of Green Lantern backup strips. I think Alan Moore wrote a bunch of them too.
Lars, can you elaborate on that?
I do know Kevin O'Neill has he's the first artist that his style was banned from the Comics Code Authority because the Comics Code thought his style was too grotesque, which is funny.
I did not know that.
Yeah. And in that Lobo compendium, Kevin O'Neill does my favorite issue in the whole compendium. It's where Lobo goes to a comic book convention. It's amazing
already.
It is absolute. There's so many, like, if you're a comic book fan that's been to comic book conventions, there's so many little, because Kevin O'Neill does that like Will Elder chicken fat thing where all in the background there's all these little Easter eggs and stuff. There's so many little things he draws in the backgrounds of the comic book convention issue. It's great. It's one of those issues that, like, if I ever do get a spinner rack, I'm going to get that issue just to have it on the spinner rack.
Creature Commandos is fab. That's a good word, fab. I need to start using it more. I dig it. Creature Commando is Kino. Just finished watching the latest episode with my friend. We both loved it. I loved it. And you'll love it, Taylor, because of the over-the-top, grotesque violence. It is ridiculously over the top, but it's really funny, and it really we didn't get a lot of Eric Frankenstein voiced by the guy from Stranger Things, heavy bearded guy that was
the police officer guy.
Yeah. I'm sure the chat's already named him.
Yeah,
we didn't get much of him in the first like 3 or 4 episodes, but towards the end, we've gotten a lot of them, and he's actually written really. It's James Gunn's humor, so it's very dry and funny, and I really, really loved it.
I hope it inspires like a Creature Command, like a new Creature Commandos comic book series. Like I know the Peacemaker series came out, so then like Kyle Starks did like the comic book series of Peacemaker, like that kind of stuff.
There's a piece. Have you read the Peacemaker book? Peacemaker Tries Hard.
Is that the Kyle Starks one?
I think so. Yeah.
No, I've not read it, but I want to. Speaking of Peacemaker, they are
Comic Slayer.
There's a DC's Finest of the Peacemaker, like the classic Charlton Peacemaker stuff.
I never even knew Peacemaker was part of that Charlton deal.
Yeah, I got a collection. I think it's upstairs. Because I always read Watchmen once every year, and I always try to read it in a different context of sorts. So one year I tried to read it in conjunction with all the Charlton characters that they based it off of. And that one publisher, Guandalan.
Oh yeah,
all the public domain stuff they reprint.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how they reprint Charlton stuff because I don't think that's public. Whatever, but they did like a collection of Question from that era and Peacemaker and the Atom. So it's like the 3 like that's like the comedian Rorschach and Dr. Manhattan. Like those were like based off those characters, or whatever. So I was reading those in conjunction with it to kind of see how Alan Moore and Dave Gibbons changed the characters. So I've read a little bit of the Charlton stuff, and it's really fun. Really fun.
That's really cool. Really cool. I feel like James Gunn could make a Legion of Superheroes movie work in the new DCU. Yeah, he's mentioned Matter Eater Lad before.
You know what, though? So Jonathan Hickman, the big, long rumor has always been that Jonathan Hickman was going to do Legion of Superheroes for DC. But then, like, something fell through, and then a lot of those ideas he put into the Krakoa era of X-Men.
Oh.
So I guess it's always been like his dream to do Legion of Superheroes. And Legion of Superheroes is the perfect vehicle for Jonathan Hickman because it's like that. When people always ask me like why I like Legion so much, it's because it's kind of like a pocket universe. It's kind of like separate from DC. So if you feel like overwhelmed by all the DC continuity, Legion's a little, and I know there's all the reboots and things that mess up Legion for sure.
Right.
But it's also this pocket continuity that you can kind of play in. And so have Jonathan Hickman go there and play with that playground without having any sort of editorial interference with like current big events or current continuities of Batman, Superman, all that stuff. Let him just go wild with it. So I guess it's always been his dream to do Legion. I think eventually he will do it. and I cannot wait for. I will probably be like an every issue reader of Jonathan Hickman's Legion of Superheroes.
That's a dream.
But I think that's awesome. But would be an awesome run for him. As far as James Gunn goes, though, it's clear that he is leading towards the Justice League in the DCU mirroring what we saw in the JLI run. Because of certain characters, like his brother Sean Gunn's playing Maxwell Lord, which I cannot wait to see.
His brother voices two characters in Creature Commandos.
Oh, my wife has been watching Gilmore Girls recently, and Sean Gunn's in that a bunch.
Oh,
you know what? My wife, so she's been watching Gilmore Girls. There's a random episode where this character was holding like a rolled up copy of a 8-Ball issue from Dan Clowes. And I recognized it right away, even though it was rolled up. I'm like, he's reading 8-Ball. Like, oh my gosh. And it was like one of the boyfriends for Rory, the young girl. I was like, that's the guy she needs to end up with. He's got good taste in comics. And my wife was like, no, he's a jerk. Like, you don't want her to end up with him. Like, no, he likes comics that are good. But it made me think that one of the producers or prop guys on the show had to have been an 8-Ball fan. That's not a random comic you go into a comic book shop and like, oh, I need a comic book for this scene. Like, you don't grab 8-Ball, you'd grab like Superman or something.
Yeah. Okay, wait. Okay, here's the Thor stuff. Simonson is better in new colors.
Wrong.
As a teenager, I used to see G.G. Allen walking the streets here in town every once in a great while. Had no not to go near him. Yeah.
That's wild.
The only Silver Age stuff I have straight up despised is X-Men, other than the Neil Adams stuff, which is great. I'm usually able to find some charm in Silver Age material. There's your reviews. Okay, Kane came back. I bought myself summer vacation for Christmas, and it is awesome. Read, remarked it, and send a bunch of freebies and cool bookmarks. Yeah. Okay, I did track down those Legion of superhero trade paperbacks, so now you can get an Omni. And Supergirl in the Legion of Superheroes. So that would be a good Omni. Really good Omni.
See, that's what we need is Jonathan Hickman to do this Legion run to make them popular again, and then we'll get reprints of all this older stuff.
Exactly.
Make it happen.
Okay, but here's somebody who says something different. I just got my Marvel Masterworks at the start of Simonson's Thor run, and original colors are so much better. Beta Ray Bill made me aware of prejudice when I was in 2nd or 3rd grade and changed my life.
See, Josh Greathouse, here's someone with good coloring taste.
Yeah. Happy New Year to you, Jag, from the Great White North.
Yes, Happy New Year.
Frank Thorne, there's one hardcover. Okay, that's what I have, the Red Sonia. With that said, the first appearance of Juggernaut and Stan Lee and Jack Kirby's X-Men is a classic issue, easily the best of their time on that.
Is that the issue that Alex Toth drew?
Wow, I don't know.
Alex Toth drew one issue of X-Men that he drew over Jack Kirby's layouts. And I think it was the Juggernaut issue.
Jesse saw people mover between basement rooms. I've unplugged everything, and so my laptop can just go back and forth.
Yeah, Uncanny X-Men issue number 12 is Alex Toth art with the Juggernaut's first appearance.
Oh, wow. Manga Geekdom was here. I need to go to the bottom of the chat and catch up. Buenas noches, Omnipero y Taylor hablando comics. Espero que la estén pasando bien. Coño! My buddy, Manga Geekdom. Yes, it's on Disney Plus. Okay, good, thanks. Hunter Iggy. Omnidog's Vault. What DCEU's actors would you like to see in the DCU as villains?
Oh, from the DC, like the
animated,
like the Zack Snyder DCEU era, come back as villains. Like the DCE.
Jesse Eisenberg's Luthor. I think that was Jesse Eisenberg not even acting. I think he's evil. Whatever. What other villains? Well, Zod's dead. Superman was dead for a while. Wait, The only other Zack Snyder ones are like Darkseid and Steppenwolf. Wait, what am I forgetting?
Who was the villain in the Wonder Woman movie, the first one?
Wonder Woman. Okay, I remembered it. Okay, wait, who? Oh, Ares, the god of war. She defeats him, but World War keeps going on.
I will say, I would like to see Gal Gadot back as Wonder Woman.
Oh, I would too. I think she's perfect.
I agree. That first Wonder Woman movie was incredible, and she's perfect for that character. And we've already seen that he's bringing back Jason Momoa as Lobo, the aforementioned. Jason Momoa, I did not like his Aquaman, but him as Lobo is perfect. And I think James Gunn directing a Lobo movie with Jason Momoa would be as big as the Deadpool movies. Mark my words.
Okay.
I think it would tap into the outside the comic book fan market where people would then become Lobo fans.
Okay, this sounds like I will want to watch John Carter. I love John Carter. John Carter suffered extremely poor marketing. Also, that was such an inspiration to so many sci-fi. So a lot of people thought it was stealing. It wasn't. It should have been longer. I saw John Carter in the theater. That guy played Gambit in Fox Wolverine movie. Gambit. That was what's his name?
Taylor Kitsch.
No.
That
Gambit in the Deadpool Wolverine
was what's his name?
Yeah,
big name actor.
Big name actor. He was in Magic Mike and
the 21 Jump Street.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and 20. What was the other one? Like the sequel to that. That was good.
Whatever his name is, but he's talking about Taylor Kitsch played him in the Wolverine movie, like the first Wolverine movie.
Okay. Okay.
He's who plays John Carter.
Okay. I like that movie. Of course, being Disney, they toned down the sexy aspect. Overall, they nailed the jet accent. Actually, it was cool on Barsoom. I told you I love Deja. Oh, I believe you. John Carter was killed by the lack of Mars reference, and the critics knew nothing about the original content. Partworks comic reader, welcome. Finish at least one book a day. Daily Insta update. At least one finest or epic, and at least two non-big 2 books every week. 2,000 pages per week to hit 100,000 pages and 500 books for the year.
Holy shnikes!
Wow.
I do like how Goodreads will break it down by how many pages you read. And I think my record is 33,000. So that's 3 times my record. That's what his goal was. That's amazing, though. Good luck.
Yeah, 100% good luck. Always wanted to get into Love and Rockets, but never knew quite where to start. I think I remember seeing Tanta and really digging the vibe.
Yeah, that's a video I need to do, too. Where to start Love and Rockets. Because it does feel daunting. They've had this long continuity for 40 years now. But I do kind of wish Fantagraphics would come out with like a collection of like not greatest hits, but like here's like the most important stories of the first 10 years you need to read so they can get caught up, kind of thing.
Here it is. David Harbour, the cop.
Oh yes, that's the guy that plays from
Frankenstein. Yeah, he's hilarious. His lines are hilarious, and he delivers them perfectly. Inhumans at least, an epic collection. They should reprint some kind of. I don't know. Oh, NFL dude, welcome. This year I want to read all of Invincible, Fables, and Attack on Titan. I've read little of them years ago. Goodreads started an achievement ribbon system, and I think I can get all of them. Ooh. Oh, there we go. Polka Dot Man is doing a Creature Commandos book. It's ongoing.
Oh, awesome.
My favorite issue of the Lobo Compendium was the first issue of Lobo's Back. The final gun battle, seeing Lobo and his enemy with bullet casings stuck in them, just stuck in my head.
That compendium is such a blast. The only downside for the compendium is like when he has like a crossover with the demon for like 5 or 6 issues. It's okay, But the rest of the compendium is just like all fun comics.
I think there was a Green Lantern Corps story that was deemed to be too grotesque to be published. It must have been the art style, like you said, that wasn't Comics Code approved. May have been published in the collection of The World of Alan Moore.
I know a lot of those backup strips are in the Alan Moore Writes DC collection or whatever.
Gilmore Girls is so goated. A pal of mine got all his art featured in an episode of Walking Dead as a kid's room.
Oh, that's fun.
Of Sopranos where AJ is reading a Foxtrot book at the breakfast table.
There was a movie I saw last year that a kid was reading a Legion of Superheroes issue.
Oh, that's cool.
I forget what movie it was.
Darlene had a room plastered with DC posters, especially Sandman.
Oh, Darlene definitely read Sandman. That's very on character for her.
I forget what Avoida said, but let's see. Let me go back really quick. Room Taylor. Okay, I can't. Omnidog and Taylor, have either of you read Superman Space Age or Superman Kryptonite? If so, how did you guys like those stories?
We both loved Superman Space Age.
That was my book of the year 2 years ago, 2022. Wait, what was last year? No. Okay. God, well, that's America. 2023, it was my book of the year. And it led directly into my interviewing Mike Allred. I loved it so much. It moved me to tears. I have at least, I know I have one video on it. And then my end of the year video, I talk about it again. Superman Kryptonite, I remember as being great. It's by Darwin Cook. It's not as recent in my memory banks where I could tell you things about Superman Space Age like I could, but it's coming out in a deluxe and it's definitely worth getting.
Who wrote that one? I'm sorry.
Darwin Cook.
Okay.
He did art and drawing on that.
Oh, Darwin Cook's so good.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It was so good. Here's the movie. It's called Summer of '84. I don't know if this can show up really good.
Oh, and what's he reading there?
Legion of Superheroes.
Oh, cool.
I have the like the full covers right here of the issue he's reading.
Oh.
The light's not
Okay.
showing. It's one of the covers of the Before the Darkness, anyways.
Okay, wait. We have a great next Imaginaut, one of two, because these are okay. I have to take a sip of water, like when I'm doing Espanol on Omnibros, because I see some hard words in there.
Okay, I'm ready.
It's addressed to you.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. Taylor Talks Comics, 1 out of 2. Legion of Superheroes is also conceptually brilliant in this regard. It's the superhero equivalent to a polyphonic high modernist or postmodern maximalist novel or film. Intrinsically high concept. Oh, he's gone to 3. Hyper intricate with potential cast of hundreds and each character capable of playing their own essential musical role in the text, just like Akiri's polyphony, or it can't be polyphony, polyphony, to name one obvious example, obviously, and capable of cohesively supporting many intersecting, overlapping, and paradoxical narratives, relationships, and tones simultaneously and at or turns. This has to be a 4-parter. Turns. No, I think he's done. Okay.
Now tell me that doesn't read like a pitch from Jonathan Hickman. you add in some charts. You got a Jonathan Hickman pitch.
Yeah. Oh, Channing Tatum is who I was thinking of.
Tatum. In fact,
I forgot.
I want to know if Next Imaginaut and Jonathan Hickman have ever been seen in the same room together. But I agree. It's very high concept. There's so much to do with it. There's so many characters. All in agreement there.
Okay, just a sec. Where'd my phone go now? Always misplacing my. What the hell? I just had my phone. Why would I not have my phone here? Because I want to ask Siri something. Where'd my phone go? Okay, wait a sec. Maybe it's in the other room for some weird reason. There it is.
Did it fall under the bookshelf?
No, it's on top of Legion of Superheroes. Hey Siri, what does polyphonic mean? Producing many sounds simultaneously, many voiced. A 64-voice polyphonic sound module. Wow.
High modernist or postmodern maximalist novel or film.
Intrinsically high concept with hyper intricate with potential cast of hundreds and each character capable just like a Carrie's. It must be polyphony. Okay. Dr. Poison was in World War One.
Oh, Wonder Woman.
Oh, Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman and World War One.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman movie Ares. Okay. Jim Steranko did some X-Men art around issue 50, and it's really good.
Jim Steranko also designed the X-Men logo we all know and love.
Oh. I think the question is more so having the heroes in the DCEU play villains in the DCU. Having the heroes in the DCEU play villains in the DCU.
Well, Jason Momoa. Oh, or do you mean the actors that played heroes playing villains in the DCU?
Oh, okay. Not the heroes themselves, but the actors. So Henry Cavill could be somebody, and Ben Affleck would be somebody bad.
You'd have I mean, Jason Momoa playing Lobo's like the first example, right? Like Lobo's a kind of an anti-hero villain.
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't the biggest fan of the DCEU. I think James Gunn's vision for Superman I like a lot better than Man of Steel.
Taylor, will you do overviews of the Lost Marvels hardcovers when they come out?
Absolutely.
What is that?
Those are Fantagraphics books they're doing. So Fantagraphics has the Marvel farmed out the Atlas Comics era stuff too. Okay. But the Lost Marvel stuff is like Bronze Age stuff of like small mini series. The first volume has like Jim Steranko, Neil Adams, like a bunch of cool artists in it. And then the second volume they're coming out with is gonna be like All Howard Shaken, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know if I did tell Fantagraphics I'd be willing to do overviews of those. I don't know if they're sending me review copies, but even if they don't, I will be purchasing them for sure.
Okay. Safar, good night. Thank you for being here. Mr. Awesome's here. Happy New Year to you. When it comes to Love and Rockets, read Heartbreak Soup by Gilbert Hernandez and then discover the genius that is Jaime Hernandez.
Yeah, Heartbreak Soup is the first big Gilbert story, and then for Jaime, like Death of Speedy, I guess would be the first big one for him.
I know. I am seriously considering leaving the house for Heroes Con, Josh, and I won't forget to come by your table. Jess, have you read Gita by Frank Thorne? You should check it out since you're a Red Sonia fan. It's good girl art. Interesting. Speaking of Gita, Hermes Press is releasing a new collected edition soon. Was in last month's previews. Well, perfect timing. Okay, we're losing AS. I'm calling it a night. Great stream. Love hanging out with you. We love you too. It was. Did the phone get caught under the leaning bookshelf? I was just going to call it for you. That would have been great. Hello, this is Kane. How are you? Okay. I love Gal Gadot as a Wonder Woman as well, but I feel like James Gunn is going to go for lesser known actors to give them a chance to shine like he has done for Rachel Brosnahan and David Cornsweet.
Well, Gal Gadot was a lesser known actor before she became Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah. Jason Momoa as Lobo is pinpoint casting, like RDJ as Tony Stark and Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool. I agree.
100%.
I'm not sure what that comment means from Josh. So, anyone who's watched Mrs. Maisel knows that Rachel's going to absolutely own as Lois. The Crime Syndicate. Going to Heroes Con sounds great, but I'm almost positive I'm busy that weekend. I am kind of fading.
We are.
Yeah, we are.
I've got a game to coach tomorrow too, so I got to.
Right. Let me. Well. Here's some more big words from Next Imaginaut. Cannot highly enough recommend Bakhtin's Problems of Dostoevsky's Poetics and his The Dialogic Imagination. If you're curious to bone up on more polyphonic poetics, maybe that'll be my goal number 10 for this year, to bone up on more polyphonic poetics.
I took a screenshot to look up what those are. I do want to know what he's talking about, because again, with my Legion of Superheroes reading, I always like to read, like, look at it from all angles, behind the scenes and stuff. So if he's analyzing it in this way, I want to understand what he's trying to say here.
Oh, I know you would have, Kane. That would have been great if you had picked up. If you had called me. You can call me right now.
Unlike Omar, who's not been so.
The casting of Jon Stewart and Hal Jordan are amazing as well. I'm excited for the upcoming Lantern show. And
can I just say, not that anybody in the chat said this, but I've seen a lot of talk online about how the Guy Gardner casting and how he looks dumb with his bowl cut and stuff. These people are annoying me. And I think it's a lot of Snyder fans too.
It's perfect. He looks just like him.
It's perfect. And also, you don't want every character to look like a badass, cool guy. And I think that's the issue. People are like, he looks so dumb and he looks like a doofus. That's the point. Guy Gardner is a doofus. If you make all the characters look cool, badasses, then nobody looks different. You need some characters to look like characters.
When he had that look on his face, when he walked in the room as Guy Gardner, at first I was like, can he really pull this off? And then I looked at him, and that face he makes, I can't even describe that face. It was so perfectly Guy Gardner.
And you know how perfect it was? Kevin Maguire, who drew the original JLI run, who was known for his facial expressions with his characters, quote tweeted it and said, yeah, that looks like something I would draw.
Perfect. I mean,
when I forget the gentleman's name, but when they announced the casting of him, and I remember him from Guardians of the Galaxy 3, where he played like the doofus a-hole guy that they go to the planet for or whatever. I was like, perfect. That is the perfect guy for Guy Gardner.
He was arm fall off boy in Suicide Squad.
Like you need some character actors to play these kind of doofus looking characters, or like these outlandish looking characters, to then make the cool Superman guy stand out.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you.
Yes, Nathan Fillion.
It's pronounced Bakhtin. Wait, what's pronounced Bakhtin? Who? Okay, wait a second. You guys are really testing me. Bakhtin. You can't be surprised that I couldn't say it right.
If it was Spanish, you would have nailed it.
Yeah, it was perfect. Yeah, no, Superman looks perfect. One punch, right. It's pronounced Bakhtin, or at least that's how we used to say it back in my college days. You studied whatever the hell Next Imaginaut is talking about here? What? Okay, yeah, I definitely want to read up more on polyphonic poetics. Polyphonic poetic. What the hell's going on? Oh yeah, Hawk Girl's going to be great too. So have we covered all of your
Yeah, I think we got them all.
Go
like,
over our, let's go over our choices. I mean, our goals again.
let's run them down one more time.
I'm just just for Goodreads. I'm just gonna put 100 again because I know I can do that.
Do you want me to go first, or do you?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, so mine's read 103 books. Read through Legion of Superheroes from beginning all the way through the 5 years later, volume 2. Read one omnibus a month. Don't start more than 3 books at once, and to stay on track with my review copies.
Okay, mine was more social media posting. That's Blue Sky and Instagram. Finished all the books I'm in the middle of, which is 5. I need to get that down to just 1. How to start reading Red Sonia. And if that is a good one, I can do Vampirella and Deja Thor's too. A video about all the Gail Simone books I love, which is every one of them. So, spoiler alert. 5, finish Krakoa. 6, do spinner rack reels for Instagram. Yeah, reels would be better than for Instagram than a YouTube video because it's so
You do YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, I could. I mean, I can multi-purpose them.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because YouTube Shorts are vertical also.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Spinner rack. Do a video on Reed's books. I'll copy you 1 Omni a month. And room tour. I feel like there was something else I wanted to steal of yours, but I can't remember what it was.
Oh, it was read 5 manga every month.
That was very quick. This is the year to join TikTok. I think this is their year. Yeah. Okay. Well. Okay, that's fair, Kane. I don't know. I honestly don't need more Omnis, but
let's not get crazy, Sassmurf. Come on.
I am just overall excited for the DCU because when they do good, that will push Kevin Feige and Marvel to do good as well. And getting great content for both DC and Marvel is a win for everyone.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Yeah, that's actually exactly right, Richard. Lance, I'm working to read anything I buy this year, as well as catch up on my backlog. Yeah, you are. You have almost, if I remember correctly, Lance, you've almost read everything that you buy. You're almost like all caught up at like 90% or something, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Okie doke. I think we're running out of steam. I know I am. Actually, this is good too. I want to reread like Black Cat, some of my favorites. Dr. Aphra, Black Cat, Gwenpool, Batman 66.
Yeah, rereadings. I love rereading. It's also a good way to get out of a reading funk. Like if you're if you're having trouble like getting back on the horse of reading, like read something that you already know you enjoyed.
That's a good point. Yeah. So Taylor, oh my gosh, for some reason I follow the stream until 5 a.m. and it is worth it. I'm so happy that you feel it's worth it, Lars.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
I know it's late for you. Thank you all. Okay, well, I thought you were close.
But they can find me at Taylor Talks Comics on YouTube. Search all social media platforms. I'm Taylor Talks Comics on those. And I do have a YouTube goal. I think I want to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of 2025.
Oh, good goal.
I haven't hit 3,000 yet. I'm close to 3,000. So I want to hit 4,000. So all of you guys can help me out. If you have not subscribed to my channel, subscribe. I do everything there from like Golden Age comics to modern, from DC Marvel to underground, self-published stuff, like the whole gamut of comics I like to cover. So
yeah, his channel's really good, guys. It's link for it is in the description box. Josh wants to know when the next show is.
I do want to do more live shows as well, Josh. Let's make it a goal that next week I will go live. How about that?
Good. And you'll be on here like every couple months, so we check up on each other.
Yes, every couple months on Omnidog's Vault. And I'll go live on my channel maybe once a week. I like to do a weekly show live during the day. So yeah.
That's a good goal. Where am I? I just put up a video yesterday of my Black Friday unboxing and haul. It was ridiculously big, but also extremely cheap because I got everything. The Hamilton books were practically free. I mean, I had to buy them. They were practically throwing them at me.
Hamilton's a great site to buy stuff from.
Yeah. So peace and love, Omnidog's Vault. I'll be on Omni Bros Monday night, and I just put up my calendar. It's a good thing I put up my calendar because Batmantha said, oh, I forgot something like this is how I reminded that I'm going to be on this month, because I put up my calendar for the month, and she's going to be on in a few Saturday nights. Black Friday haul video is a good one. Yes, I saw your comment. Thank you so much. Wrong chat. Wrong video. Although I should give away a OPB gift card. Okay, so Omnidog's Vault, Taylor Talks Comics. We had a blast. Thank you, chat. You were all great. Really appreciate everybody, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. I really, really love doing these. Thank you all so much for being here. Peace and love, and I will play us out with my theme song, which is by the great Nate Burkholtz, and it is the Baturdays theme song. Thank you. Peace and love. Thank you, Taylor, for being here.
Yes, have a good night, everybody.
Baturdays, Baturdays. Omnidog in the miniature of comics. Talk forever, get right your ergonomics. Taking questions from the chat. With a name like that, you think they talk more about the fact. Baturdays, Baturdays.